Greetings and salutations, friends, and welcome back. Tonight, against my better judgment, we're going to be doing one of these open panel shows, which means tonight is one of those opportunities when you can not just listen to the show or watch the show, but rather you too can become a part of the show. Everybody is welcome. And maybe I have not been clear enough that we do have some rules here for these panel discussions. One of them is don't drop N-bombs. Don't say the N-word here. Some of our distribution partners have very strict rules about people using, racist, slanderous, attacks, even if, Anyway, during the last panel show, somebody kept saying that word, and we kept saying, hey, you can't say that here. And he just kept saying it anyway. And I'm just going to let you know that I'm going to have a zero tolerance. The first time somebody says a word like that, you're gone. We don't support or condone that kind of a thing. The other rule is wear headphones, please. Otherwise, there's echoing in the background. And no matter how many times I say, please wear headphones, people join without headphones. And then there's all this echoing and nonsense. And one of the other and most important rules, of course, is also to let other people talk. I don't know why. Maybe it's just there's too many people here sometimes, but we get, these panels with 6 or 10 people and everybody's just talking over one another. Nobody cares that somebody was already talking. They just jump in and talk over them. It descends into chaos. And to be quite honest, I think that's part of why people like this. It just turns into this whole this chaotic mess. And I don't like that. If you like that, I understand. You're just tuning in to see what kind of a mess this thing is going to turn into. And I get that. But please, can we respect the other panel members and let other people speak and don't talk over people? And also, please don't join the panel if you think that you should just talk for an hour straight while 8 people sit there and listen to you. It's a conversation. It's a discussion. And just as in the real world where most of you wouldn't, talk for an hour straight and just force everybody to listen to only you and not chime in, the same rules apply here. So I'm going to ask you to be respectful of the other panel members. Now, I've put the link to join the show into the description, or I'm sorry, it's pinned in the live chat. It's also in our Discord. I'm going to put it into the description of the video right now, and I'll be adding it to our other distribution partners. I'm adding it to Instagram right now. Please follow me on Instagram. It is at Truthseekers Show on Instagram. We're broadcasting live there right now. I'm going to go over to the Rumble chat, and we will put it in as well. So far, we have no panel members joining, so first person to join will be the first person that we bring on board here. I'm going to put it into the Rumble live chat and the Twitch live chat as well. So and by the way, all of our live chatters, wherever you normally are welcome to join the live show. You just click on the link. You may have to also click allow web and mic access in order for your browser to be authorized to use those things so that you can join. Or actually, we do have one panel member joining, and that is the man with the golden voice, Mr. Ian, is here. So we're going to get the party started with just the 2 of us. And that's good because I'd like him to talk about some of this AI stuff that we are incorporating here with our show. This is some great stuff. You can follow me on Twitter at Stephen Cambion and see some of the stuff that we have been posting. Otherwise, join our Discord. There's plenty of it in there. 1 second here. Let me just change my background up, and we'll get Mr. Ian in here. We got him sobering up in the back right now. I see they're pouring coffee down his throat, trying to get him to sober up, right? And that's another reason why these panel shows are often crazy. If you just want to come here and talk about drugs, this is not the place to do that. I'm sure there's other streams. You could find a party stream. Somehow that, and by the way, just to be clear, I kind of have given up when it comes to these panel shows, I don't even turn the ads on anymore because these shows always get demonetized because people start talking about drugs, they start dropping N-bombs, F-bombs. They just always get demonetized, and that affects us going forward in the future because they turn up the scrutiny on our other shows. But so you can curse as much as you want tonight because I turned the ads off. This broadcast is not monetized on YouTube. Everywhere else it may be. I don't know what will happen with that, but we'll see what happens. Let's get Mr. Ian in here to start things off. Mr. Ian.
What?
Well, your microphone actually no tech issues today. Here, let me change that. No. There we go. Good. So I thought
good picture.
Yeah, everything looks good. You're in the goddamn bathroom again. For those unaware, last time Ian came here, he was in like an outhouse behind his house, coming to be a guest on the show from a shitter. And I made fun of him. So now he is definitely inside a shitter, right? Well, he's not right in the shitter, but he's in a lavatory there. You can see the shitters behind him. This is quite an upgrade.
I've barricaded the door like no one's getting in there.
This is quite an upgrade from your last appearance, Mr. Ian, where you were just right in the shitter. Now you've gotten out of the shitter and you're just in the bathroom behind
I'm still in my room.
Okay. Yeah, I figured that, but it's still interesting. So do you want to tell us about some of these AI tools that you are helping me bring to bear and use with the show here? Specifically, we've got a lot of comments about these face swapping videos, and they're going to get better, right? These are still early generations. They're going to get better. They're already pretty good, but they're going to get better, right?
Well, we're sort of 10 times the quality this month that we were at last month.
And not just quality, like accuracy.
The curve is applying. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and it seems like these things get better the more they do something. Am I correct in that assessment?
Okay, so last night it was one of our chat members, Gary Oakey, another guy in the UK, sent a picture across to me on Discord and asked me to do some face swaps. He said, "Right, Star Wars me up, will you?" So I did loads of Imperial officers and TIE fighter pilots and stuff, and he went, "I'm a rebel, actually." Right, rebel scum. So we did him as X-wing pilots and Jedis and stuff like that. The thing is, the more I was putting it through the AI, the more it was doing his face
better,
more like him. So it gets to know you. Yes, yeah. So there is some aspect to the AI which I'm not fully on board with, where it is actually learning from what it's been doing. The checkpoint models are updating themselves.
Yeah, but you know what's weird is that there's no input from the user, and it would seem to me that that's sort of a flaw. Like, shouldn't there be an input where after it finishes render, you could like rate it on how good it did, and then it could learn better. Like, oh, that I didn't do so well, so don't do.
Yes, you can
adjust the measures. Oh, you can.
Yeah,
and then it adjusts.
There's a rating system. You can rate the images. Yeah.
Yeah, that's very interesting, and we're gonna share one the piece of the Jeremy Corbell piece, because that is really
of course, because
it's creepy, but it's good.
So far, we've been relying on you making rubber masks, and we've been swapping you into other people's video rather than swapping other people into your video. Then we don't need to use these rubber masks anymore, and the people look more accurate. So it's only the voice we've got to nail down, really.
Yeah, and this I kind of had mixed emotions about that, because we talked about this before. Like, I grew up with, and I like practical effects. I like physically building, making things. Like, I think the best monster movies are the monster movies where they make a monster. All this CGI, I don't think it's as good as practical effects in many cases.
Well, the plasticine in Evil Dead,
yeah. Well, and then
but it works.
It works, and there's and I just, it kind of pissed me off because Ian comes to me with this incredible technology, and it's shows me the potential for it and how creative we could get with this. There's like so many things we could do with it. And then I just spent all
We're
this
only
time.
scratched the surface.
But I just spent all this time on 3 masks, and I feel like they're worthless now because we could do a much more realistic job just using the software. Yeah. But I took the time to make those damn masks, so I'm going to use them. But we're going to complete this long project of me doing all these different characters with the latex practical effects real masks that we made. And then the next one we do, it's all going to be software. So I kind of feel like George Lucas when he made the prequels. You know, when he made the first 3, he had to come up with all these innovative ways to make it work. Like the only way I could do this was latex masks. Yeah. And then he got to the prequels and he was just like, look at this computer technology. I don't even need a Yoda puppet. I could just use a computer to make a Yoda. So it's interesting that this is going to change a lot of the way we do things. I think for the better, though, because it looks so much more realistic. Now, you said that there was some problems with the hair and things like that in some of these early renders that's going to be fixed going forward, right? So bald people.
Because there's a workflow. It's like when you're using your PC software, there'll be one package you use that does one function very well, and another piece of software that does another function really well.
Yeah, well, let's show people one of these.
You tend to save out into a common shared folder and switch between the 2 bits. So
let's show people one of these examples. And I just want to make sure that I'm clear that like me and Ian were on a Zoom call, well, a streamer call, whatever. And I said, can I just solo myself and say something real quick, and then you take the video and let's do a test. And the idea was,
recorded this. It was back within 2 minutes. So.
Yeah, we did this whole thing in a few minutes. But interestingly, Ian had been switching. He'd been finding video clips that are funny, like at the end of Ferris Bueller, where he says, like, "What are you still doing here? The show's over." And he put my face on it. And that's what we were doing. But then I suddenly realized that he could put anybody's face on me, and I could just act like them. And anyway, here's one of the results.
Hi, I'm Jeremy Corbell, and I sold everybody a complete and total fake story. The truth is, Bob Lazar is a convicted pimp and a fake scientist. And I left that out of the original story and pretended he was a former government scientist and whistleblower. Hi, I'm Jeremy Corbell, and I sold everybody a complete and total fake story.
And I just want to make clear
if you wore like a fake beard and a
we're gonna no
when you did that would make it so much easier.
This is just a first
mask,
a first step into seeing if we can do the same thing that I used to do with all the masks, but do it better with these digital effects and the AIs. And I got to tell you, wasn't I so excited about this? I was like jumping out of my chair when I saw the results of we did that test in 2 minutes, 3 minutes. It took longer to render
live in the show, basically.
Yeah, we did it. We did it right there. And I just went, oh my God, now I could be Bob Lazar as a pimp. I could be David Wilcock telling people to take baths in their own piss to get superpowers for $333. We can make fake ads for their courses. This is going to enable us to really up our game as far as the I don't know, we kind of make fun of some of these people, but I think they deserve it, right? So, and by the way, there's no other panel members. All you people that send me all these emails like, when's the next panel? I want to join the panel. And then they never do. Oh, we got somebody here. Who do we have here? AK Eagle. Is this the guy that said? Is this the guy who dropped N-bombs? No N-bombs. You cannot drop N-bombs.
Oh, what's up? What's up? Am I here? I'm on.
Yeah, and many people don't even want me to let you on the show because the last show you kept dropping N-bombs. Right? You realize that's a problem, and then I have to delete. I have to delete the whole video.
What happened?
You don't remember what happened? You were dropping N-bombs.
You don't know how to speak English?
All right. We'll see you later.
No.
I don't know how to speak English. for those unaware, this guy dropped a whole bunch of N-bombs. And here's the big problem. The YouTube algorithm doesn't care if it is the owner of the YouTube channel who dropped the N-bombs or a guest or a panel member or anything. They'll just give my entire channel a community guideline strike for that, which is a real problem. So I had to delete the last panel show off of our YouTube channel because even privating it is not enough. Even private videos can sometimes get you YouTube channel strikes. And we can't afford to get a strike. Yeah, we did. We can't afford to get a strike over somebody doing something stupid like that. And it's also, you know, it's like somebody coming into your house and just shitting on your living room floor. You don't do that to your host, right? Oh, I think it's getting worse, not better, because now we got this guy. Jeez, God.
What's going on, buddy?
Well,
what's up? How you doing?
Ice cream shots. You know, I thought of you earlier because I'm not sure, but weren't you one of those guys who are like F Steve? Well, actually, we could curse. Fuck Steve Cambion or something. I was a long time ago. I think that you were kind of like, I think he's wrong about a lot, but I think he came around. There was people in the spaces, and I wasn't even a speaker. I was just listening.
Show me a clip. Show me a clip.
I'm sure UFO Shane has it, unless he deletes it. I don't know if it's one of the recordings.
Really?
But anyway, I go into spaces, and there's these people in there, and I'm not even a speaker. And they're just like, I just realized Steve Cambion's here listening, and I just want to say, fuck Steve Cambion. Fuck him. Fucking, he's a fucking cocksucker or something. And I was just like, Jesus Christ, I'm just listening here. Like, it's pretty funny how
anybody produces a clip of that, I'll give them $1,000. It doesn't exist.
Yeah, I gotta ask UFO.
Yeah, it doesn't exist, man.
He'll not you. I'm talking about the spaces I was in.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say me saying that. I'm like, not a shot.
No, because I thought that you were a little bit like, oh, he gets a lot wrong before or something, but then he kind of came around and went, well, he is right about, you know. So I wonder when those people. Are they going to go from fuck Steve Cambion, he's a cocksucker, to, well, he was right about a lot of stuff? It just takes a year or two, right?
No. Yeah. Definitely not, dude. Definitely not.
No, I'm sorry for the
confusion.
I wasn't saying that you said
that's
that.
fine.
Yeah, I thought of you earlier, though, because I went like, Jesus, man, you know, the vitriol. And I just don't get it, you know. And you know what else I don't get is if I have an 8+ year track record of never selling a fake story, being as honest as I can when I present a story, giving all the evidence that I can, and let users or people make up their own mind, and like I've got a really good track record for being pretty accurate and getting a story right, like. I'm the bad guy here, but all your heroes keep getting caught selling completely fake stories. I report that accurately, and it's my fault. Like, I'm the asshole here. Like, I don't understand this.
No, I mean, you know how it is. Most people want an echo chamber, though. I'm just one of the few people that don't. You know, I still have my.
You travel in all different. Yeah, you travel in all different circles.
Well, yeah, I mean, mainly because like I said, if I had more facts, like nobody really at the end of the day has the real answer. So it's like, it's very hard, Steven, to like put your ego on that, right? It's so hard to do that for me. I mean, I know a lot of people, maybe it's not as difficult. You know, they have their beliefs and they're going to scream at you up and down about it. But dude, I don't have enough proof for what I think to be able to, you know, cuss somebody out or anything like that. You know, I mean, that's really what it kind of comes down to. Plus,
or maybe you're just a little more measured and a little less like intensely crazy about it.
I mean,
a lot of those people, it's hero worship. That's what I think does it to. Like, listen, if somebody comes along and you've been really, really like holding somebody up as a hero for years, and somebody comes along and like peels back the layers of deception, shows you that person is a scumbag, you're going to be angry. But it's misplaced anger to be mad at the person who told you the truth. You should be mad at the guy that lied to you.
You're disillusioned, aren't you?
Yeah. No, I mean, I've spoke to a couple people that I've had guests on my show that, you know, I grew up listening to them. I don't agree with everything they've said. Like a lot of their opinions, I've kind of changed my opinion on down the road. Doesn't mean I don't want to talk to them. Doesn't mean I think they shouldn't have a say. Or that they're bad people for what they believe. It's just so hard, in my opinion, Cambion, to label it that way in this topic. Like I said before, there's just not enough hard evidence to do that. Now, when you have people like, James Fox, where he kind of hints at having the video for the Virginia alien, and in my opinion, pushes a lot of sales based off of that. Very misleading. That's a little bit different of a story. That's not cool. We shouldn't have anything like that. But anybody that just wants to have a conversation about the topic, I don't know how you can really, just try to destroy him over that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think there should be a scale. And it's not like automatic. Well, this person's a scumbag. Was it ethical? In my opinion, it was very unethical for him to basically float that. And it kind of made
I hated that he did that. Yeah.
It kind of made people think that, oh, we're going to get video of the alien creature in the documentary. So everybody runs out and buys it. And then everybody was complaining. No alien footage, And well, that's a whole interesting story too, because apparently people try to sell him fake videos, and I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know the behind the scenes with him, man. It's hard to track a lot of that stuff, There's just so much that goes on. I mean, lately it's been slow. I mean, I think that's really why this whole Miami alien thing has picked up so much. There's just nothing really to talk about, right? I mean, nothing as far as like really good news. Like tell me this: like, if Grush were to come out with firsthand evidence like a couple of days ago, do you think anyone would care about this Miami alien? No,
absolutely not. And by the way, I talked to several members of the police there who told me, two of them. Not several, two, just to be clear. And two of them, they both said, I can't, they both basically said, I can't believe what's happening on the internet right now. This is an ordinary event. Well, not really ordinary event, but this had nothing to do with the alien. There's Reddit posters right now in police uniforms saying like, calm the fuck down, you crazy people on the internet. This had nothing to do with aliens. And somebody asked me earlier, I love it that people just want to get a quick take from me. Like somehow I'm the arbiter of whether something is fake or not, right? But people always do this to me, like, hey, Stephen, what's your take on the Miami aliens? And what I said
the name
earlier,
of your show is Truthseekers. Come on, they're gonna do that, right?
But here's the thing, like, so they said, what's your take on the Miami aliens? And I said, there are often very easy indicators to decide if a story is true or not. And one is to look at who's promoting it. You know who's promoting this story right now? Third Phase Moon and Ashton Ford's the MH370 guy. I guess he's like, shit, the MH370's getting debunked out the ass. I need a new fake story to push. And Third Phase Moon are pushing it, which they pushed the Las Vegas thing out the wazoo. So to me, if these profiteering whores are pushing this, it's likely fake, But I did reach out to police in Miami, and I'm I thought maybe I'll do a story on this. I made a few phone calls and I went, I'm not doing a story on this. This story is stupid, I mean, maybe I still will. Who knows?
I mean, you might it's fun to talk about. I mean, I think as long as you're leading it with, hey, like, I don't really know the answer, or it's probably not really real. I don't see the harm in talking about it, though.
The bullshit disclaimer, we're just having a conversation. That's a Jimmy Church-ism. Like, I know this person's a fake doctor and a scammer, but we're just having a conversation here.
I think, but the stuff with Jimmy, the stuff with like the med bed stuff, though, that's so much different, though, as far as like danger, and actually putting people in a lot of risk. It's the alien story is kind of silly. I think if there wasn't such a crazy police response to all of that, though, that is the weird thing. I mean, at the end of the day, Campion, you can't take that away from it. It is weird.
It is a weird event.
Yeah.
It looked crazy to me when I first saw it. I was like, Jesus, I got like every cop in the city there.
I know. Yeah, I know. When I live just out by MSU, and when they had the shooting last year, there was not that many cops on campus, man. And they were looking for him all over. And MSU is one of the biggest campuses in the country, and it was not got that kind of a response. So I know the Miami police, the former chief was saying it's kind of looked like an overreacted response, but it was really more of a strategy situation. But I don't know. It looked pretty crazy to arrest 4 kids with some sticks, right?
Yeah.
This was the 10-foot alien, apparently. That's
the 8 to 10 foot. It's changed so many times. Some 7 foot, now it's 10 foot. Who knows? I mean, of course it's not, anyway. Right? Yeah, I mean, of course it's not aliens, but
Kari Spooky is going to be here. But by the way, I want to thank Spooky because I needed some graphics for a big project. And by the way, I forgot to make my announcement. So, you ever know how like sometimes you have an idea to do a project and then you don't like tell everybody that you're going to do it, because then what if you fail at it or it doesn't work out? And like, I've been struggling with making this one project for literally years now. And I thought a lot about what I want to accomplish in 2024. And so I'm making the announcement and making it public. It's long been on my to-do list, but it's a massive undertaking. Pre-production for this film project began this weekend. It's about time someone gave you the whole and real story and included all available evidence. I will endeavor to do that. So this is a new project for us for 2024. It's called Lazar, the rest of the story nobody bothered to tell you. And I've been collecting evidence for this for years, but I'm a mess. Like, I'm very disorganized. So I'm going to have to sort of spend some time recollecting a lot of, I have some of it. It's so much information though.
It's a lot. Yeah.
I always hated that people made a film and in my opinion, they do the lie by omission. They purposefully leave out so much of the story in order to sell it. And
sure,
I thought, why can't we just get somebody that's just going to say, here's all of the available data? You know, could he really have been a real scientist? Could he really have worked at Area 51? Here's all the available information and data, and people can make up their own mind. So I want to thank Spooky, who made the graphics for this stuff. And there we go. They're Spooky.
It's very cool.
Oh,
yeah.
Hi.
And Eric Stitt as well.
Hello. Is my camera working?
As well.
It's a black screen. It's a black screen for me, so I don't know if you can see me.
Very good picture. Yeah, we can see it.
Yeah, Cambion, my opinion on this Lazar thing, man. The interesting thing about him too is I think that John Lear left a really big breadcrumb years and years ago on one of his early appearances on Coast to Coast, where he talked about, you know, he met Bob before Bob was into UFOs or interested at all. Like, that's the story, right? He came over to the house with the measuring tape with and I'm blanking on the name, is his buddy
Jane Huff. With Jane
Huff,
Jane
Huff. Yeah. So they get there, and then what John ends up saying is that Bob comes over a lot before Bob ever goes up to EG&G to get the job to go to Area 51. And they talked all the time. And then Lazar supposedly said, hey, you know, I'm going to go work up at the test site. What do you think about that? I'll go find out what's going on. Now, see, that to me means that I think Lear and Bob Lazar cooked this story up. Lear was such a good storyteller, man.
Yeah, and a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this, but John Lear, a year before Bob Lazar came out with his story, was on that Sunday morning talk show with George Knapp telling parts of the Bob Lazar story. Oh, there's a secret facility at Area 51. They got 9 spacecraft up there. They're trying to back engineer them. And then a year later, magically, Bob Lazar gets a job working in that exact program that John Lear described. It's a little suspicious.
Not only that. I mean, a lot of people say, well, how did Bob know when they were doing the test flights? I mean, look, John Lear was one of the most decorated flight, ever. One of the pilots ever, right? So he knew everybody, flew for the CIA. You don't think he had some buddies that he ran into that talked about back behind the doors what was really going on up there? I think Lear took them out.
They were 11 miles from the test site. And you know what I always loved? You know, somebody took it and they say they enhanced it and they did they did the recreation of the craft from the test videos. There's literally that light in the sky is literally 3 or 4 pixels. And I have the highest quality scan of that original tape that I'm aware is available. You can't extrapolate all that data and show the shape of that craft from 3 or 4 pixels. I challenge anybody to do it. And we've got Ghislaine Maxwell's here.
Oh, jeez.
Hide your kids, everybody. Hide your children.
Hide your children.
I'm going to hide my cam in a second. I'm going to get out of here. It's her.
It looks like Anjali. Hello. And we've got Thin Lizzy Borden joining as well. So saving us from the song.
Oh,
hello.
I thought Thin Lizzy Borden was pretending to be Ghislaine. So now I'm confused.
I'm confused too.
Well, we're all confused together, live on the internet. It's great.
Okay, yeah.
Ghislaine, how do you feel about those lists coming out? Those lists are coming out, right?
Oh, man.
I'm a little bit concerned. but I've had a lot of time to think about those UFOs.
And now we have uncomfortable silence. Then Lizzie Boredom, what are you up to? Welcome.
I'm just hanging out. I moved, so I'm in my room. I'm not set up yet, but
You can hear
thought
the
I'd
echo,
pop on
yeah.
real quick to say hi. Oh, sorry.
Well, congrats on the new place.
No, I mean,
Yeah.
it sounds big. You haven't quite got all the stuff up on the walls yet, have you? It looks beautiful. You say it's got like a cabin ceiling.
Yeah, it's
Well,
on
I
the
like
third
that.
level, but yeah, has a fireplace also, so can't wait.
Nice. Yeah, you told me about that. That always makes everything better.
Oh yeah, for sure.
When I saw this house, I was already kind of sold on it, but then we went into the basement and it has a huge stone fireplace. And then I looked at my wife and I was like, I think this is the one. And she goes, yeah. She knew as soon as I saw that fireplace. I was like, that's it.
It is a cool fireplace.
We looked at 100 houses though, and we were supposed to buy another one that fell through. So, you know, we were like, after a while, you get so tired of looking at houses. We literally looked at 100 houses. Like, I think in person we looked at least 35 houses, but you know, online, and your wife will keep sending you. Do we go in person or not? After a while, it's just buy a goddamn house. I'm sick of this shit. You know. But it worked out. We got a good one.
I had a similar situation like that when I was in Canada. We were like looking at houses all the time. Like I'd go to the toilet and they'd be like, "Did you look at houses on your phone when you were on the toilet?" I'm like, "No, I scrolled some memes." Like, give me a break.
Yeah, and
When
Kari,
we go-
you
when we
I
go-
know the feeling.
you've been here. Like that basement is something else, isn't it? That
That is
basement.
the craziest basement I've ever seen. I was like, wow.
It's huge, and
Like-
there's a wall of bookshelves on the one side. A lot of junk. I got to clean that out.
And the comic disclosure dolls.
The comic disclosure dolls.
I remember
all
I
the red
tweeted
dolls.
I tweeted a picture of one as like an Easter egg before we went live, and I was grift on. just in case people that follow would have known, that's the cosmic disclosure doll.
We got somebody else named Hang 10 is here.
Uh-oh, here's the AI.
Hang 10.
That's a hell of a filter there.
But
Hang
what
10.
what if I don't have 10 to hang?
Yeah, and a lot of aliens are supposed to have 6 fingers and toes. Why is it Hang 10 and not Hang 12?
True.
I love when people join and they don't say
Here we
anything.
go again.
It's like,
I mean,
I just want people to see
he's
this.
really proud of this animation. Come on, you gotta be right.
Yeah,
Was
maybe
was it Anne of Cleves that had 6 fingers?
I don't. Really
I mean, he
remember.
could have had an accident.
Well, the Nephilim have 6 fingers and toes. A lot of people.
I found
say
this while
aliens have
cleaning
3
today.
fingers, 4 fingers. Just another day in ufology. Oh, you used to use that all the time. Yeah, especially on the.
I was cleaning out my bookshelf in the living room, and I was like, I haven't seen this in like a year.
Wait, I can hear him talk with no mic. See, the telepathy's real.
And that's what I said. Maybe he's telepathically communicating to us, and I just can't hear him. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good joke.
Did you look at the toilets in the houses?
What? Did I look at the what?
What did you say, sweetheart?
The toys in the houses, I think.
I think he said toilets is what he meant. I think
the toilets. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he's an alien and he's interested in anal probes.
No,
so
I know. I hear,
toilets.
but no, like, it's the bathroom that always sells a house for me. When we were looking for houses in this area, this is a weird estate where we live. So there's lots of thatched, like daub outside, like white and black houses, it's like Tudor style, with thatched roofs, and the doors are all 5'5" because they were obviously smaller then. So every single house we looked at before this one, I couldn't fit through any of the doors. I'd have banged my head on everything.
Yeah, you're a
probably a
giant
deal
like
breaker,
me.
yeah.
How tall are you, Mr. Ian? You're
I would have to.
No,
jump
Hank
to it
Alien
myself.
Surfer, but
6'3", 6'3".
yeah, me too.
well,
More with my boots.
Dude,
As
what
tall
is
as a
going on
door.
with this guy down here?
I know. There you go.
The
You-
rest of the
you-
name is
What kind of ship
Hank
are you
and
running here,
Alien
Cambion,
Surfer,
huh?
by the way.
One at a
This
time.
is,
Go
this
ahead.
is why
Can
I
you
don't
hear me?
make content anymore.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah.
State
What?
the
Go ahead.
business.
State your business. Yes.
No. Okay. In Zeta Ridiculi, you guys are not listening. You're not listening. You're not listening. Never mind.
Did you say ridiculi?
It's
Like,
Zeta Ridiculous.
Yeah. You go back to put together that IKEA bookshelf. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
I
I
told
told
you
you 10 times we can hear
Can you
you.
guys hear me or no?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're listening.
Yeah. And he.
Yeah,
What?
long time
So-
listener, first time
I
caller.
know.
First
Hold
contact with
on.
humanity is going really
I
well
hate
right now.
StreamYard, by the way.
This is disclosure.
Continue.
Shut up. You
Choked
can
on
sell
the
this
steak.
shit.
The toy? What?
Just put real alien join stream ? That's all you got to do.
Somebody said this is going to be on third phase tomorrow. How loaded is this guy?
Toilet. Yeah.
So, answer me this. Why were you at the
You're
Miami
sitting
Mall?
on the toilet.
Okay.
Can you guys hear me at all or no?
Oh my God! How drunk are you? How high are you? We've said it 10 times. We can hear you fine. Speak your piece, alien man.
It's
Maybe.
the same guy that you
He does-
banned.
Doesn't have his
is.
volume on.
That sounds like an AI.
Yeah,
That's
it might
the
be
same
this.
guy that you banned.
Bye-bye.
I banged a
Yeah.
guy. Did I bang a guy?
It's Angela.
Hear
knows
me
what's
at
going
all,
on
or-
there.
Elaine
my audio
Maxwell's
working?
gonna start
Wait,
rumors.
hold on.
She said I banged a guy. You mean I booted
No,
a guy?
no.
That's a little different than
Banned.
banging a guy,
Banned.
honey.
No,
The
no,
troll game
no.
is strong, but
No,
goodbye.
it's the guy that you banned.
Banned. I thought you said banged.
No,
I'm sorry.
I'm short. My friend Harry.
had some
the
Dupa
Bigfoot
game.
guy, the Sasquatch.
It's got to be somebody typing into an AI or something like that talking. Yeah.
No, I don't think he's typing.
Troll
it.
game is
It's his
strong.
voice. It's just a
Really?
filter, yeah. Of course, first contact would be with the drunk alien dishwasher.
Right. Well, that's how they ended up here. Like, it's not like here's a
Are
very
you
good place
getting
to
enough
go.
oxygen where you're at? Because I know you humans like oxygen.
Mr. Spooky? Hello?
Mm-hmm. Hello.
Are you there, Mr. Spooky?
No,
Hello?
I know.
I mean, I am a mile.
Are you in the
high, so
FBI?
the
I'm in
oxygen-
Zeta Ridiculi.
Are you
yeah.
going to tell me who's on
I'm
the
in
list?
Ridiculi more
Elaine?
than Zeta. Yeah, okay.
Are you in the FBI? I need to speak
Tell
to
me
the
who's on the
FBI.
list. Tell me who's on the
Goddamn
list.
mess. Oh my God. I'll be right back.
Who's on the list, Ghislaine?
He runs away.
Okay, why am I on a delay?
No, we can hear you, but there may be a delay.
Do I have
This
to
is gonna
turn
turn
down
into
the
chaos. Perfect.
okay, hold
Oh
on.
my
What
God,
software is he running through to where that's
I
mirroring
was
like
on,
his camera?
okay, I had the stream on in the background, but can you hear me now?
Yeah,
All right, you guys can't hear me.
we can
We
hear
should
you.
all
Maybe
said
I can't hear
nothing.
you. Maybe I gotta check my audio.
Yeah, hit the
Well,
audio switch
I
and
don't
that
have a
Tic
hat.
Tac ears.
Where's the host of the show? Where's he gone?
I'll be the host. Hello, welcome to Spooky's Reading Corner. Currently, I'm reading Horus Rising, which is the first book in the Horus Heresy Warhammer series.
Yeah, how's
I've
it
also
winding
been
up?
reading. I've also been started reading A Vast Conspiracy, which is about the Monica Lewinsky cover-up in the 90s, which is very interesting.
So
I
who's
know
the
all
ad-
about
who,
that.
who's the
Are
adversary
we
in the
talking about the
Horus
devil in the blue
conspiracy?
dress or the? Okay, I
What?
can hear you guys now. Thank you. All right.
Welcome to the land of the living.
Mhm.
Who's the adversary in the Horus conspiracy? There is it the Tyrannid or the Gene Stealers or
It's a
Who?
civil war within the Space Marines, set
Oh, so it's like-
9,000 years before the 40k timeline.
okay,
So it's
right,
in the,
yeah.
the 30th century,
Oh, before,
Thousand?
So pre Beaky,
30th millennium. Sorry.
pre
before I
Beaky. So
forget,
they're not Terminators. They're like old school. Marine.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you guys count 1,000, 2,000,
Is that
3,000,
like Lord of the
9,000?
Rings?
Well, if Mordor, if you throw the ring into Mordor after you bite off the golem or whoever's finger.
Holy.
What?
What?
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know what show and tell time.
He wants to go to Mordor. He's got the ring. That's
You
what he's
left
saying.
us in the lurch there, Steven, so I had to take over the show and turn it into a book
You know
review.
what? I hate
We
these
would
panel
have spoken
shows.
about.
I can hear you
we
now.
could have done
Wouldn't
40K
understand.
for ages.
Figured what?
Yeah. Okay. Look, I am like these panel shows sometimes get so crazy that I swear to God, one time I'm just gonna fucking start the show, wait till there's a panel, and then I'm just gonna bounce out and come back like 3 hours later and see what happened.
Oh, it'll still be going.
Jeremy does that.
If you don't come back into the StreamYard, it automatically leaves
One
after
time
like
at
5
band
minutes.
camp. Never mind.
One time at band camp.
So I guess I'll start then.
Who's on the list, Gizlam?
Yeah, who's on that list? You know who is on the list? That was surprising to me, but he has a history of people making weird accusations against him.
I think
Richard
he uses
Giordano.
like free therapy.
No,
Because
David
of, like,
David
behind the
Copperfield,
bush.
magician
Oh,
David
really?
Copperfield.
That is surprising.
Yeah,
Didn't he own like a load of islands in the
yes,
Bahamas?
and he's had previous
right.
previous claims of sexual
Right.
assault placed against him several
No kidding.
times.
Huh.
Yes.
How many
So-
times
look at-
How many times was he back and forth? Did they say that at all or no?
I didn't really dig too deep into it yet. I'm gonna
Yeah.
eventually be doing a story on all of this, but you know, I don't know.
Obviously, Prince Andrew was on there.
Prince
was on there.
Andrew, Bill Gates, Tom Hanks, a lot of people.
Jimmy
Clinton.
Kimmel.
What, is the
Both
Stephen Hawking thing
Clintons as
real
well,
or no?
Wasn't it?
Yeah,
was
apparently.
David
Yeah.
Copperfield the guy that went through the
Stephen
Chinese
Hawking.
wall without a hole?
James Pepper is here. Welcome, James Pepper.
Hawking.
Hey, how you doing?
Hi, Mr.
Can you
Pepper.
believe it's Stephen Hawking? I can't believe that. Just amazing.
Yeah. Well, apparently, even though he was crippled, like he liked to bang chicks. So,
How did he do
There you
that
go.
though?
Stephen Hawking.
No. He had
There
a
was
kid.
a
They
few
used him
Well,
to get
yeah.
the.
Did he
He
have
wasn't
kids?
always.
He had to fuck
He
have
wasn't
kids.
always disabled. He wasn't
Well,
always disabled.
He's
Yeah.
not actually. He just can't move, but he's not actually paralyzed. He just can't control.
That
his
is
muscles.
literally the definition
Okay,
of
that's
paralyzed.
He was my friend on Facebook.
Fucking hell!
No, on MySpace. He was my friend on MySpace, and
Oh, MySpace.
and
Dude.
do you remember MySpace? And he kept on promoting that thing that you put on your forehead that relieved headaches.
If you
And
say
I was
so.
like, no, I'm serious.
The cold patch things, yeah.
Whatever.
Couldn't
that
they have
thing
just
was.
used Hawking though, man?
script.
Couldn't they have just
Yeah.
used him to get to like other scientists like that though? I mean, I don't know. Not defending the dude, but
what
like,
was that
you know?
movie that Focus put out on him? That before he was paralyzed, he fell in love, and then
The Theory of Everything.
yeah,
Warriors.
theory of
Yeah,
everything.
he had
Thank
he
you.
had a full life.
Yeah,
and
thank
everything
you for
before, yeah.
verifying that.
Yeah. He did experience normality, you know. And that must
Yeah.
be horrible. It must be horrible to have experienced and then had it taken away because he will have missed it more.
You know, when I was a kid, I heard about motor neuron disease, and because I was a kid, I was dumb, and I thought it was breathing in car fumes. So I used to like hold my breath walking down the street so I didn't breathe in car fumes.
Because it was motor neuron.
Yeah,
Are you-
yeah, I
are-
heard motor neuron, so I was like, oh no, motors. Ah,
Are you getting enough oxygen in there? Okay, I first asked, are you getting enough oxygen where you guys are? Are you,
I don't. This part of Earth is a little thin, but you know,
are you north or?
I'm like slightly up and left.
So are you neighbors with Santa Claus, or can you tell him I
No,
want?
I had him evicted.
I want a
for
red
being-
lighter BB gun.
I'm pretty
for
close.
Christmas?
I'm pretty close.
No, his reindeers kept
Relatively.
fucking eating my produce, so I had to get him evicted.
Don't shoot your eye out though.
But we don't talk about it. You think I'm kidding?
No, I don't. Okay, do you guys think I'm kidding when I talk about my shit?
Yeah. Oh
about
no, I totally take a fucking gray alien who says he's not paralyzed, he just can't move. Completely fucking seriously, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, he's frozen in place. That's the neurological problem. But still, I wanted to tell you about what I'm doing right now.
Is it something that you can share on the internet?
Yes, I put a link on Stephen's.
The polluted sites. That's you're depressing me because yeah, you're right. My home is in one of those sites. There was a issue. Welcome, Laura. Maybe she looks like a classy lady. Maybe she'll class this whole garbage show up, right? Welcome, Laura. What's on your mind?
No, just trying to learn and see what's going on. I'm always interested. Just looking for the truth and just looking at all that we've been lied about. And where do you start?
Well, if you ever want to go to a Hollywood producer to take your photo shoot, don't do it because they will totally tell you to take off all your clothes and you have to like actually do like some glamour shots naked. Don't do that.
What the hell is this guy?
Dude, this guy, man.
Hollywood sucks, man.
You think of the little rascals, what they went through, right?
Well, Spanky,
we went from drunk alien to drunk naked alien, right?
Well, Spanky and Alfalfa and Buckwheat, yeah, the little rascals.
Pretty sad.
Yeah, imagine their stage names, man.
Wow.
Man,
oh, she's gone. You scared her away, alien.
You scared her away. With your naked picture.
I didn't mean to. Sorry.
There's
come back.
In the mapping that I've been doing, there's a site. There's this air base. It's out in the middle of Utah. And if you go to it on Google Maps, everything is in Arabic. It's really weird. I'll send you a link to it when I find it again.
Why would the Mormons do that?
Look at all these toxic waste sites. That's crazy.
Why would the Mormons like?
I got a petition
because
out
they
there
have
right
the
now.
Mormon glaze.
Well, I don't know. They invented root beer, and it's not really beer.
What? Did
It's
they?
sarsaparilla.
It's not really beer. It's sarsaparilla. Oh my god.
Nick.
What do you say in the Big Lebowski? Sioux City sarsaparilla. That's a good one.
Well, as long as you add milk, if you buy it for $1, and what was that? 95 cents. Remember when milk was 95 cents and you can write a check for it?
Yeah, that's another scene from the movie.
97. Sorry, I might have got that wrong.
This aggression will not stand.
You're not very old, are you? Okay.
What a movie, man! What a movie.
I'm
But
not
the
a number.
rug, that
I'm a
rug
free man.
pulled the room together.
Anyway, what's going on with this toxic waste here, Cameo? What are you showing here?
Okay,
Well,
I've got it.
Go ahead.
Go
James
ahead.
Pepper can answer that. He's the person researching this story, and it's crazy.
So I grew up a mile from a uranium processing plant, but I grew up about 12 miles due west of the Empire State Building in New York. And so this uranium processing plant basically killed my mother and killed my sister-in-law. They polluted that whole area with nuclear radiation. I mean,
But you're saying it's 13 miles. Okay, you just contradicted yourself, and I have to get my math correct.
So I'm where I grew up 12 miles from the Empire State Building, and the uranium processing plant is 11 miles from the Empire State Building. So it's a mile closer to the Empire State Building as the crow flies. Or in other words, 45 minutes to an hour and a half, depending upon the traffic. And, you take the train because there's no point. But I found all these other sites because there are all these cancer clusters in New Jersey. And so I decided to map it all on Google Maps. And I've got 3,300 sites mapped all over the country. And so this is a petition on change.org to present to Congress to say, hey, this is what you guys did to us. And if you click on that, you'll go to the
yeah,
petition.
I'm doing that now. Yeah, you're pretty close. You need a few hundred more signatures, right? Well, for that goal anyway.
Yeah, and down is all the links to all the maps. So there they all are.
Yeah, and James Pepper, would you like to do? Would you do a show with me called Toxic America, where we could just talk about this?
Yeah, that'd be great.
I think that's worth a show. I had no idea there was this many toxic sites all over the United States. It's crazy. There's like 3,500 of them.
Most of them are radiological.
I would gladly make some artwork for that because that is pretty crazy.
Do it.
Then there's the biggest toxic site over the entire globe. It's called Twitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Well, that's a different kind of toxicity, but yeah.
So I'm writing an article right now about New York City, and I'm
Island, or what was the other island called that was on? Not Jekyll Island, but the one that caused Lyme disease. That was
Plum.
Oh man,
Plum Island. Plum Island. Yeah. So you guys are toxic over there on the East Coast. I'm on the West Coast, by the way, but
West Coast is worse.
The West Coast has more toxic sites.
Yeah. San Francisco is a freaking.
The West is the best.
I got away from
Midwest, Texas.
Poop. Yeah.
Perfect place to live.
Yeah.
Chicago.
I'm a mile up above, so I'm good.
You're above San Francisco? Yeah.
You're in Ukiah?
Yeah, I'm a mile high right now.
Are you in Ukiah or?
Pretty sure there's a bunch of people high on this panel right now.
Well, what about all the plastic too? What about all that you got landfills full of that stuff, right?
I didn't get into that, but
look at the Great Pacific
microplastics.
Yeah, the Great Pacific patch.
What
is that place in that island of plastic and Nike shoes from in the Pacific Ocean? What is that?
It's near Hawaii.
The Great Pacific.
But no, it's not anywhere near Hawaii. It's North Hawaii. Way north.
Thanks, the Great Pacific. And thanks for being a member as well. We appreciate you.
Yeah. Well, we could do the show.
Well,
I just don't have a camera.
We aim to please.
Yeah. Well, we'll do that another time, James Pepper. Not today.
I gotta follow you over on Pilled. Hold on. Oh, am I following you on? No, I'm not following. There, I'm following you on Pilled.
I just put my glasses on. I'm seeing who I'm talking to. Heck! What is that
thing? What?
Your guess is as good as mine. I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine.
How is everybody doing today?
My name is Hank Daly Server, and my story is weird. And I already showed you my naked pictures.
What?
What?
I don't even know what
Steve,
the hell is going
please
on.
save us. Please.
I don't know what the hell.
You guys weren't here for my
I don't know where we are.
Chris Damaris is joining. I love how when people join and I see him backstage and the camera's doing circles and shit, I'm like, what are you doing, dude? Like, maybe you set up the camera before you join? I don't know. Call me kooky.
I set up mine like 8 seconds before I got here. So.
Well, I can't. My point is, I can't just add people when I see them joining because the cameras. I'm like, what's going on? What's happening? I love when our resident computer genius, Mr. Ian, joins the streams, and his shit doesn't work. I'm like, dude, you're like a freaking
He's always the
computer
same.
super
You can
genius.
spend.
You can't work a fucking webcam and a microphone. Yeah, we were having that meeting, and he's like, "Oh, I forgot. It's processing, so it cuts off."
It's like an dual slot experiment. as soon as someone's watching, it affects the outcome.
Go ahead, Lizzie.
So is it Ian who has the wonderful voice?
Yeah, he's the man with the
Hello.
golden voice. And I don't
Can I
know.
help,
We have
sir?
Chris Damaris, but I don't know what
I
the
thought that
hell.
was
What is that?
Leonard
What's
Cohen.
going on there?
Yeah, I thought that was Leonard Cohen.
think
This
it's
is
spot
this is
on.
real footage of an abduction. Get the cousin brothers on the line.
No, it's like he dropped the bong right before he came on.
It's a
and
Sam Squatch.
smoke
It's
is
a Sam
going
Pink
Squatch.
everywhere.
flamingos.
Maybe he's in a tunnel.
It's
Take
a
control of the
Sam
show.
Squatch.
What am I supposed to do? You know, there's nothing I can do. This show sucks. The guest sucks. All these people are high or drunk or some or both. Good
I'm
quality.
I'm the most reasonable person here.
Do I suck? I don't suck.
Well,
All right, wait.
like attracts
I
like there,
blow.
Stephen.
Can
Oh,
you
I
hear
like
me
your
now?
mic, Lizzie.
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, I had to take my dogs outside, so I had to stick my phone in my pocket.
Okay.
So as soon as I get back into
your
light,
phone?
You gotta fire your call screener, man.
Chris is like,
Is it-
yeah, you know, I could walk my dog later and give a quality appearance on Truthseekers, but fuck Steve Campion. I'm walking my fucking dog and doing this shit at the same time. Fuck Steve Campion.
no, listen, I gotta take my dog has to have a tumor removed from his foot tomorrow. So I
Oh,
gotta
I'm
time it.
sorry.
So
I'm just busting. You know,
I
I'm
got-
just busting your
no,
balls.
I know you are, but I gotta time it because I gotta give him trazodone in the morning because he can't take the car ride, so he's gotta be all doped up. So I gotta get him to out
well,
now, so I can get him
hope
up
it works.
and some
I hope it
drugs.
works out for your dog well. I hope he does good. I hate
Lizzie's
that.
got Action Cat. Have you seen Lizzie's Action
I
Cat?
appreciate it.
Lizzie
So-
has the best
appreciate it.
cat in the world.
Mr. Ian,
Hello.
how big,
What?
it's
Hi.
not too personal. Just
Go
want to know, how big is your penis?
Jesus Christ!
I already showed you guys my my.
You don't remember, huh?
pictures.
Like 8.
I already
7,
showed
8
you
inches,
guys
something,
my
8
pictures.
inches, something like that.
All right, so
8
okay,
inches.
so okay.
One at a time. God damn. Ian, go ahead. Jesus. I'm using the mute button on you drunk and high motherfuckers. This is ridiculous.
By 7 tomorrow, my dog's gonna feel like that alien guy.
What are the weather conditions? What are the weather conditions? Asking for a friend.
Where? In the UK? We're flooded here at the moment. Yeah, Spooky, how are you going down there? Have you got floods or what?
Yeah, our town's had historic flooding. It's been pretty bad.
Yeah. Everywhere is. They say.
I'm not going to
everywhere.
say where I am, but yeah.
Yeah,
We had
every
a super
river in
hyped
the UK at the
snowstorm
moment is at
yesterday.
its highest point.
We only got 3
Yeah,
inches. It
yeah.
was so hyped out the wazoo, you know. We got 3 inches. But I didn't do a show last night because the lights kept flickering here, and that's usually an indicator that we're going to have a power failure for a few hours. Like normally the lights will flicker a little bit, and then it just goes off completely. So I didn't want to be doing a live show and that happened.
We've got 3-meter floods here.
Yep.
3-meter floods.
Wow.
Dude, I'm in Michigan.
like-
We still don't have any snow. This is ridiculous.
I'm like
Yeah, it's
up
weird,
high
isn't
from
it?
the valley,
Yeah.
so it's not. There's no flooding here, but like for me,
We
within a couple of hundred meters.
Well, as a Texan, I can ask you, what is this thing you call snow?
Well,
It's
yeah,
a real
we've
pain in the
forgotten.
ass in the morning, I'll tell you.
We've forgotten.
When a
to
warm
stop
front and a cold front really like each other,
this.
the cold front sinks under the hot front.
Yeah,
And when
you
the
should-
hot front drops its rain from the moisture, it freezes and turns into snow.
No,
That's
it
what
doesn't.
Yeah,
it
but-
turns into.
That's
No, it
frost.
doesn't.
If you live in
Actually,
Michigan, you should have
partially
had
freezes,
snow
turns
already.
into
Right,
I
right
mean,
on
that's
the
what
Great
I'm
Lakes.
saying.
No,
Yeah,
rain
I lived
comes
in Green Bay, Wisconsin, and that was the worst winter I've ever seen in my life. It was negative 40. My first winter there, it was negative 40. And the person
Yeah.
I lived with was like, I was going to take the trash out one day. They're like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "It's trash day." They're like, "You can't take the trash outside. You could die." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And they're like, "It's -40." I'm like, -4? Are you fucking for real? I went outside just to
we've not had snow.
I've never
We've
been
not
in
had
cold
snow
that
yet.
cold.
But it was so
Yeah,
cold
but you're
yesterday
skinny.
when I was driving in my
That
car.
stuff will
All
go
of the
right
instrument
through you when
panel
you're
had frozen.
skinny.
There were ice crystals around my speedometer.
That's why there's no such thing as a skinny
we've
Eskimo.
skipped snow.
Steven,
No snow.
Yeah.
Is it true that in Wisconsin they say, "Oh, geez"?
Yeah.
They, I hear that
they
that's
all
the
say
thing. That
a
they
lot. Like they all say a lot.
No,
Like
no,
Canadian.
you go.
Canadian.
No, you go A. You go
That's
A.
right.
Who is
Okay,
the
so
guy?
I'm
If
from
they end every sentence with
Minnesota
A, like
originally.
"Nice day out, eh?"
So I have the no.
Strange
I
brew.
don't really think, as someone who's from Minnesota, I don't really think that way. But they say go pack, cheeseheads. We're gonna go. I don't know.
You know what? You know what was funny when I was there one time. I had only lived there for like a week or something, and somebody came up to me in the supermarket and asked me where the bubbler was, and I was like, "What? Bubbler?" They go, "Yeah, where's the bubbler?" That's a water fountain.
That is
That's a water fountain, and
what?
And they all say pop. Nobody says soda. They say pop.
I say pop too. I don't say soda at all.
Yeah.
I was in Boston one time, and this guy said he was offering us drinks. He said, "You want the pop?"
Yeah.
And it took us about 15 minutes to try to figure out what the heck he was saying.
Yeah.
You guys are great human interpreters, but can you translate what Boomhauer says on King of the Hill? Because I don't understand when it's like, I don't know. Boomhauer on King of the Hill. Aliens are still trying to translate the NASCAR and the NASCAR racers, by the way.
That boy ain't right.
NASCAR is only for hicks and hillbillies.
Well, no, it's like going around red dirt and they're going boom and boom. Yeah, I don't understand NASCAR drivers are Boomhauer on King of the Hill. So can you guys translate?
Okay, great. That's good time for the mute button. I don't know what he's saying. I don't know what this is about.
Yes. So, how's your night going?
Who?
That good, eh? Great. Cool.
You know.
So what time's it there? What time's it there, Spooky?
Same time it is for you.
Oh gosh, 3 a.m. here.
Well,
so what time is it there for those guys?
For you to
must
get
be,
a watch,
10
10 o'clock
10
for
in the
me.
evening?
Yeah.
10 o'clock.
Yep.
Time for you to get a watch.
You've still got a Saturday night.
8.
I know what time. I can see what time it is. That was an entertainment lead-in.
So what's the prediction? When does Lou drop his book this year? I think February or March.
I think he may never
as well.
I don't know.
Really?
Never forget that
book.
Nick from Invisible Night School said he's going to eat that book if it ever drops. I just want to put that public reminder out there that if that book drops,
oh no!
Please remind him that he said if that book ever drops, I will eat it, and I want to see him eat a book. He's getting pretty hungry.
He's gonna release it. Why wouldn't he? He's gonna make money. That's the biggest real ticket ever.
There's a question about the redaction. I have a question about the redactions. Like, how do we know that that's an actual redaction or him pretending it's redacted?
Not. Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's not. But at the same time, like when you have someone like him, like he has to keep that mystery and that mystique. Once he loses that, it's gone. So he's not going to give everything in that book, man. He's probably going to want more after that. So he's got to leave something hanging, you know?
Right. He's probably going to drop it in time for the summer conferences. Because then he's got something to sell and have a booth. And,
Yeah.
Ice Cream Shots. You know that he's marketing that book while saying that he ran a funded Pentagon official UFO program.
Of course.
Isn't that a problem for you?
I mean,
it's a
yeah,
problem
for sure.
me. It's a problem for me.
Yeah. I mean, for me, man, the last 6 or 7 years of ufology, there's so much BS in it for sure. You know, it's the other 80 years that people like to just instantly write off with, oh, okay, everyone just must be crazy. But it's like, come on, you use more information to write off 6 years than you do 80. That's kind of weird. But yeah, I mean, I agree. The current state is weird. I don't agree with Lou. I don't trust Lou. I think Manny hit the nail right on the head when he showed that Lou was moving early and he lied about all that. I mean, when you have the start of a story be a lie, how can you really, how can you really take it
the other thing
anymore?
is like, am I allowed then to just say I ran a Pentagon UFO program and write a book and market it that way if I never did? That's, to me, it's a form of consumer fraud.
I agree, but I mean, who's really going to enforce that? You know, like who could you get to kind of clamp down on it? I don't know. I don't know if you get anybody to care enough, right?
The problem is the prosecutors will sit there and go, "Well, this is all about UFOs, so
right, they don't care." Yeah,
there's fraud.
Yeah, they get the UFO pass, man. For sure. I don't know. It'll be an interesting read. I mean, I think it's silly. Everyone's gonna read it. Everyone's gonna look into it. There's no way that you're into this topic, whether you believe Lou or not. You're not gonna read it, right? It's kind of like that thing with the Call of Duty game every year where everyone says, Call of Duty's terrible, but they buy the game next year anyway, same idea. I'll listen to the book, read it, whatever, and see what's going on, but I don't expect to get anything out of it.
I was going to say it. I'll wait until it's on YouTube as a free audiobook.
You could do that for sure. Nothing wrong with that.
Well, the other thing is like, if he never really ran a real Pentagon UFO program, let's just, for the sake of argument, say that the people who are very critical of him and say he never ran a real Pentagon-funded UFO program. He lied about that. Now he's writing a book. Like, is that somebody you want to trust? A guy that lied about running a program he never did, number one. And then number two, if he never ran a government UFO program, then who cares what he's got to say, really? All he's got is the same shit that people get off the internet. Like, he pushed that Italian UFO case, and he pushes documents that he finds. He fucked up on that one show and said, "Oh, these are recently declassified documents." No, they weren't. Like, he's not. He's the worst UFO expert I've ever seen. He gets everything wrong.
Wait. Tell me what?
No,
what is a UFO expert?
He's doing open.
Yeah, exactly.
He's doing open source UFO information, and you said actual redactions. What does that mean? Actual redactions? That is that Pet Shop Boys album that after Please? Yeah.
Pet Shop
And
Boys
actual
album.
actual was actually a horrible album, and actually Please was better. West End Girls was actually a really good song.
Okay, but look, we're trying to have a serious discussion here about this book. I think that his book is going to be worthless to me because he doesn't have any real insider information. He never really ran the program that he claimed to run. So who cares, And we have Island Boy joining us. Welcome.
Is that Gillian's friend?
Totally legit account, not a troll at all.
It will get laughs out of the book.
We'll get laughs out of it. Okay, so that it has a comedic value. That the man that ran the Pentagon UFO program in the land of make-believe wrote a book. Great. You're right. Comedic value.
I have a question that I think might be somewhat controversial.
Hey, I'm being optimistic.
Okay. Is there a difference between this group of people convincing the government that there is some extraterrestrial threat in the skies and the people that convinced Congress that there was WMDs in Iraq?
Yeah,
is there any difference there? Because all it really resulted in was military contracts for contractors.
Well,
yeah.
Lies.
You have a point, but the first WMDs was the father with the babies in the incubator. Remember that whole thing?
Yeah, that was
that was quaint, but that was quaint, but yeah, that was not Iraq. But That was one of the reasons why.
I guess my question is, how many times is Congress gonna lead some kind of like national security thing based on bullshit, based on some, Gulf of Tonkin, another one,
like
weapons of mass destruction.
Right.
Gulf of Tonkin, but that is how many times they're going to convince Congress, or they're going to convince the public. And before the internet, by the way, Gulf of Tonkin was before the internet, and the internet opened up the eyes. It was like
I think the alien's sobering up. He's sounding a little more,
It was like the
Don't
apple.
believe all you see.
The apple that Adam bit from Eve, and the fruit, not the apple, because they never said it was apple.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about computers, by the way, but the computer actually opened up the eyes of the internet to the world and let the world see that they were naked to the truth and to everything. Like Adam, as soon as he bit the fruit of the knowledge and got the knowledge that, oh my God, I'm naked.
It's self-awareness, isn't it? That's one thing.
Yeah, exactly. And sorry, I'm being deep and weird, and I'm a weirdo.
Oh, you're not being weird at all. Joining the live stream as
I'm not being weird.
Gray alien. That's not weird at all.
I have no nationality, no color, no. I am just here observing humans.
I don't know how much more Congress is going to entertain any of this, man, until they actually get some proof.
I get another beer. I'll be right back.
I agree. I think that unless there's some tangible thread for them to actually follow and then be allowed to follow, they're just gonna. There's no incentive. But we're in an election year, so unless they're actually given an incentive and a reason to matter, it's going to be a dead period government-wise the next year.
The other problem is, imagine if the people that are very critical of these narratives, like me or Green Street, are right. And this is the same group of UFO wackadoos with this echo chamber, and one's reinforcing the other one, and they're doing all of these deceptive things to push this narrative. Like, I'm sure, this is just my personal opinion, I can't prove this, I'm sure that Lou Elizondo is an unnamed source in a whole bunch of UFO stories. They don't want to keep using him because then that brings up the scrutiny about him. But they could say former Pentagon official says, on the condition of anonymity or whatever. And what if all these people are correct in that it's the same group of wackadoos, Hal Puthoff and Eric Davis and, Ron Pandolfi and Jack Sarfati and all of the Nolan, and it's like the same group of people. They were the Skinwalker people, and what if the government wakes up to that and says, oh, the same people that ripped us off for $22 million to study werewolves are now saying that the government has alien bodies and shit. Somebody's got to educate the government about all of this and show the timeline and the people involved. But I think that this whole Grush bluff, if it is a bluff, if there's no evidence behind Grush at all, except for things on the internet or things other UFO wackadoo people told him that have equally no evidence, they have done irreparable harm to the entire subject matter, and the government is never going to take it seriously ever, ever, ever again because of this huge bluff. It's a huge bluff.
Oh yeah, see what they did there.
Yeah. Well, it's the mainstream public in general, man. It's everybody. It's everybody taking this thing seriously. You've never seen it go this high before into Congress. I mean, the UAP Act that went through, that got all diced up and everything like that. And a lot of people are losing interest. What, Green Street on his Twitter space the other day was saying that he's thinking about, getting out of here. I mean, what do you do when you lose a lot of
stuff? He said that a bunch of times. He's said that a bunch of times, but I think he's going to stick around.
You think so?
I think he's paid well enough to.
The key to handling Congress is to make it lucrative to individual members, particularly the more powerful ones. So unless you're going to actually bribe them, nothing's going to happen.
You are
Yeah.
correct, by the way.
Got to be some money in it for them.
Have you ever seen the Eddie Murphy movie, Distinguished Gentleman?
Yeah.
No. I haven't.
That describes Congress all, yeah, as well as what was that? Harry Wilson's War or
Charlie Wilson's War. That's
Yeah.
a good movie.
yeah.
Philip
Charlie
Seymour Hoffman
Wil-
was especially good in that movie.
before he died. Yeah, and
Before he
Yeah, he did such a better job acting when he was alive than when he was dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny how that works.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He was good in Cinedoce, New York. That was a good movie. It's very art house, but probably his best performance. Anyway, what about that movie?
Extra wackadoo votes.
Which actor's that, man?
Never mind. I just wanted to mention that movie.
Oh,
Eddie
Cool.
Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
No, I was talking about.
He's like
Charlie
making like a
Wilson.
comeback now or something, right? The past couple of years, he suddenly reappeared.
No,
wanna
he's
say-
been in movies because he has to pay off his ex-wife. By the way,
Oh, that explains it.
I got to.
Did anybody watch that Coming to America 2? Is that any good?
You know,
I did
Lady
not.
Blah Blah has a good question.
I remember getting Eddie Murphy
let me
roar out
find
blockbusters
it.
maybe 30 times.
You
Is it in
popped
the
it up,
live
I think,
chat?
before, yeah, just a minute ago.
What
What
was
will we see in 24 on the UFO
Yeah,
alien
live
topic in the
chat.
news? I don't quite understand the question. What will we
Yeah.
see in 24?
I think she means what will we see in 2024 on this topic.
Well,
Oh,
I
think
oh, oh! I
I think
forgot.
we're going to
Like-
see
Yeah.
more of the same stuff. Over
Harry, have you
promise,
asked
under
ChatGPT
deliver, fake stories
No, 'cause
falling
I'm not
apart,
giving them
and
money.
more.
I have money
Right.
to give it.
Well, hold on. I'll
And-
go and ask.
and where are you streaming besides Pilled? Because I found you from Pilled. By the way,
We're also. Oh, great! No wonder. Everybody warned me. There's only wackadoos on
That makes
Pilled,
sense.
but no, I had it
I'm aliens. Yeah,
aliens
aliens.
and wackadoos. We are
Yeah.
right now. We're streaming right now live to Rumble, Twitch, our Twitter feed, 2 Facebook feeds, and we were streaming live to Instagram. But
And there will also be an
they only
audio
do
feed on
first out.
Spotify. Hello, listeners.
Yes.
Okay,
yes. So you too can experience this
Where is
total
the biggest
tragedy on
Where is the biggest chat? Because
YouTube. YouTube.
You guys are still on YouTube. Wow.
I mean, this is where everybody is for this topic, though, Alien. I mean, where else are you going to go that has this? much of
There is a
community?
stigma with these alternative
You can
platforms
go to
that they are
Aliens
inherently
Surf- my
alt-right.
show, my show on YouTube or okay, YouTube will not let me go to your channel.
Well, I don't know what your problem is. It's Truthseeker Show on YouTube. It's Truthseeker Show on Instagram. At Stephen
I already
Cambion on
tried.
Twitter. Stephen Cambion on Facebook.
Truthseeker. Okay, I'll try to go
Truthseeker
again.
Show.
And
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's
they
plural.
They kicked me off.
Why do we have to give tech support to a goddamn super advanced alien from another
I'm
star
going to
system?
sit here and read
I
some
do tech
Warhammer
support for a
literature.
living.
When you figured out your tech issues,
That
I'll be right back.
Hold on.
That means we
Hold
have
on.
ascended so high,
Alright,
Stephen.
Hold on.
Could you imagine if Elon
Truthseeker.
found some way to get
No.
like this kind of a setup on Twitter and everyone could just dip on YouTube for good and just go over there? You know?
I don't know. You know, do you like
YouTube
spaces?
sucks.
Do you like spaces? I don't really like it. I don't.
I mean,
like it.
it's cool. It's easy, right? You just jump in, jump out whenever you want. You don't have to sit on camera. You can sit with your boxers on the couch. You know, it's no big
Yeah,
deal.
I guess
Lay
it has
around.
some advantages.
My best show on YouTube, I interviewed a tomato.
I mean, just the difference of like the freedom to be able to talk over there and kind of say whatever you want is such a big deal,
I
man.
hate
It's the biggest obvious
tomatoes.
downside with YouTube, but
Of where? On YouTube? Are you talking YouTube?
No, we're talking about Twitter Spaces.
Oh,
I
that
refuse
place.
to use those things.
All right, hold on.
they're cool. Yeah, they're cool, man. It's just I don't know. There's just so much drama over there, man. It's hard to kind of steer clear of it.
Yeah,
and
I just
have conversations. It's tough, man.
Every UFO
I have
spaces,
better conversations
every
with
UFO
actual
spaces
ufologists
I
outside
join,
of Twitter, so it's fine.
Yeah,
I don't need
it's better
Twitter
to
to
do
talk
that, I
to
think.
Twitterologists. Like, why
I
would I
don't
do
know.
that?
When every spaces I join has King Milkfart and UFO Joe arguing with everybody else, and I'm like, I don't like those two very much. I don't really care, you know. Like they want to live in a delusional fantasy world, and whatever, that's fine. But you know, and then it's just like people that want to argue. So it's like, do I really want to go argue with people for 2 hours? You know, not really.
Well, I mean, if you hosted your own thing, though, I mean, you kind of control that, right? I mean, you have like it's the same idea as what you're doing here, except
I'm
there's
going to
just no
do it.
cams,
I'm
you
going
know?
to do it. Shane keeps telling me I have to do spaces. I have to do spaces. So I'm going to figure it out and do it. But I was trying to figure out how I could do a space and also broadcast it here and everywhere else. Or
I mean,
maybe
you
I'll just
can
record
do
it
the
and
spaces
do it.
on the computer, but you don't have the same controls, though. I don't believe like you can't do like the emotes and the stuff like that. But I don't know how good it is to control on your computer, because if you could do that, then you would just use
I think it
OBS
has
and
to
just
be.
grab it.
Yeah,
and
I think
send
it has to be on the phone. So,
I
or I could do it
found-
and then rebroadcast it after the spaces ends.
I don't know. I think you can. I think Ashton Forbes was rebroadcasting his spaces though too on his stream. I think he was.
Yeah, you just
maybe
use
he wasn't
OBS
hosting
to
it,
capture
though.
capture the page and then rebroadcast that.
Yeah.
I found you on YouTube.
Okay.
Hi, Enzo.
Congratulations.
Good to see you.
I
I
asked
haven't been
before about the aliens.
I haven't been here on YouTube for a while. I have a channel on YouTube. I interviewed a tomato.
Jesus Christ!
And
What is
a
going
potato.
on here? What is going on here?
Please save us.
Now, what's the name of the UFO fraud that has the property up in a Buffalo?
That would be David Wilcock and Stavati Aerospace.
Well,
you love ripping him up, don't you?
Can't help it.
You're a super fan, low key. I think you are, man.
It's
You
too
love him.
easy. It's too easy, and I'm just shocked at the stuff that he does. Like
Millions,
his
huh?
followers. Like no matter how stupid you think David Wilcock's followers are, then you have to stop for a moment and then realize, like, no matter how stupid you think those people are, they're even stupider than that, dude. Because the things that he thinks he could just get by them, it's crazy.
Somehow
I don't
I
think
missed
it's
him.
stupidity. I think it's just brazenness. I
He's
think
brazen,
he just doesn't care if you see him doing it, because there's enough people that believe him, so it doesn't matter.
So somehow he didn't go. He never got on my radar. Him or the other guy that had the lawsuit or deposition recently. I can't remember his name. Yeah, I don't know how those guys I never came across them from all these years. They just
Are you
there.
talking about
They were isolated in the Gaia.
The blue chicken
Oh,
people,
okay.
or no, the blue chicken.
Yeah, blue
person?
chicken people. Yes.
What? No, what was that all about? Although the blue chicken people are very nice.
Okay.
And they're,
How much of an answer to this
they're
question
very
do you want? Because I
nice.
could go on for the next.
I
8
didn't
hours,
date
but
one.
they're not real. That's step one. But it was a guy who made up some shit to impress David Wilcock to get a job at Gaia.com and had a show, and then he colluded with David Wilcock allegedly to create a rival network. So they left and tried to tank the stock, and then there's lawsuits, and it all blew up. And then David Wilcock has recently rebooted himself back to like where he was in the late 90s, being like a channeler and having special powers and doing Law of One shit and leaving the SSP stuff alone, because it basically just tanked his career because he colluded with a guy who is bad. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Fuck you, Corey Good.
Yes.
So
you left out though that
I left a lot out there.
But the important part is that Corey Good and David Wilcock spent like 8 years telling people all these secret space program adventures of Corey Good, and then in a court deposition under oath, he had to admit that it was all fake. Essentially, he never been to space. He never been to, and he screwed up in that deposition because, like, the lawyer says, "You've never been to the moon." He says, "No, never said that." You've never been to Mars? He says, no, never said that. There's videos of him telling people about his space adventures when his spaceship landed in his backyard and took him to the moon base, or he was building a base on Mars. So you had to have gone to Mars to be built. You know, we had all the clips, so we put them back to back, and it is just funny as shit.
The blue chicken.
So he admitted it was all fake. And so they spent 8 years bilking all the UFO community for events and for conferences and for speaking stuff and monetized views. 8 years they spent on that grift, and then it all came crashing down. And David Wilcock did the Cosmic Con shuffle. He just shuffled away from Corey Good. Like, forget about that shit that I sold you for 8 years. Here's brand new bullshit. Brand new bullshit.
It's always going to work.
That
though,
was
right?
in the wake of his wife doing the
those
shuffle.
blue chicken
Yeah.
people, the blue chicken chicks were cute though. Those chicks were.
He's got a load of rubber swords in the back of his car as well, probably then.
He was cute.
Well, the breast. No, you don't call them tits. You call them breasts.
What are you talking about, dude?
I don't know. He's talking
no,
about
no,
alien
I-
chicken. He's talking about alien chicken tits.
Yeah,
Chicken alien.
no,
Blue chicken
no,
alien
breasts and
tits.
thighs. Breasts and thighs.
Oh my god.
Don't you ever?
So what? Corey Good's done then?
Did you
He's
see the
out?
video I
He's got
did
nothing-
before?
Yeah,
Steve?
he's pretty much done.
Yeah.
I don't
You're
think
looking for that
he's
now.
he's never going to be one of the top tier grifters ever again. He's going to be working like that little UFO convention in like Cedarwa, Montana for $150. That's going to be Corey Good's future. That's what I think. I could be wrong, but you can look at his social blade and see like what a dump his YouTube.
I mean,
took after that.
arguably, it could be more dangerous now that his group is smaller.
If you
and
want to
there's
get a
more
picture,
hardened members, you know,
Right.
that
If
could
you
lead
wanna
to
get-
scary things. But you know,
yeah, if you want to get a picture with them, it's $50 for a Polaroid.
I'll save my 50. It's all good.
$50 for a Polaroid.
Oh my god, I don't know what's happening here. I don't know what we were talking about now. I'm too distracted.
we've
all over
long
the
since
place, man.
passed the point of serious conversation. So
Yeah.
Well, see, I had no idea any of this was going on. Even these.
Oh, Burn Eye is here.
Nothing.
Many
Hello.
don't, you know.
Happy New Year.
Happy New
Happy
Year.
New Year.
Happy New Year, man.
May the truth of the grifters come out in 2024.
Well, we'll see.
the work is blessed. Thank you.
Yep. What's going on, Burns Eye, Mind's Eye, Crypto?
Hey, you're not in your
whatever.
you're not in your Ormus lab. What's going on?
Yeah, just in amazing frozen Canada where it's freaking freezing outside.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, just waiting joining quick while the wife's in the grocery store.
It's 51 degrees
Weekend
out
at
here.
Bernie's.
And
Bernie,
it's
how you
freezing
doing,
here.
man?
Wait, you got your wife to go to the grocery store by herself? How do you do that?
Well, I'm in the truck. I drove her.
Wait a minute. You have to go to the grocery store with your wife? You have to go?
Oh yeah. I mean, I usually go most of the time myself.
Dude,
yeah.
I never go. I just tell her what I want and she gets it too. Like I never have to go. She goes.
First world problems.
I mean, I cook like crazy though, so I mean, I guess I'm a little bit weird about it. We got to get the right stuff, you know.
And 7953, somebody else that can't work a camera, I guess. Quality
I need
guest.
to find a Canadian.
I
that's
do
willing
not
to
do my
sell
own
me,
laundry though, so I got to give her credit
syrup.
there.
Oh, I never did either. Yeah. They
yeah.
try to make you helpless on purpose. Since I met my wife, I haven't bought clothes, washed clothes, folded clothes. She does all that. I'm well taken care of. But I think they do that to make you helpless. You know, like I used to be a pretty good bachelor. I cooked, I cleaned, I did a lot. You know, now, fuck no, I don't do any of that. Nothing. Nope.
I like cooking though, man. It is.
I
a joy
cook.
when you
I
make some
do.
really
I
good
do.
food.
Yeah, I do
Yeah.
cook because she's at work and I feel like I'm home. I can
Right.
do it. But her meals are better than mine. The boys even tell me.
What about the grill though? You got to kill the grill though, right?
Yeah. Oh, I kill it on the grill. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
you gotta
campfires,
love it,
wood
man.
stoves. Yeah.
That's just
I'd
in
like
our
to
DNA,
talk
right? The
to,
grill.
Megan, is it Megan or Ryan Kelly, the media chick that came out saying we're going to hear from Epstein himself recently?
Yeah, I seen that. Yep.
So I'm thinking personally, it's probably recordings of him, like
Right.
pre-death.
Yeah, maybe talking about all the people.
Found Dad, please play this tape to the general public. Oh my God, yeah.
That would be awesome if he did do that. That would be a big story. There's got to be some kind of something from him talking about what all these rich, famous people were doing with him. There's got to be something.
You mean he didn't kill himself?
Epstein definitely did not kill himself.
Wait, hold on. If he comes out, that means he didn't kill himself.
The pathologist report was that it was manslaughter, that he was killed. He was murdered. It wasn't suicide.
Well, is a pathologist
and that hasn't been reported on the fact that the people that did the
Oh my God! Don't talk over each other.
suicide.
It's not that hard.
Hold on. What does a pathologist mean? Is it a foot doctor or ass doctor?
Oh my God!
So okay,
It was going so well with them for a while, right? It was going so well.
I'm just trying to understand what is a pathologist? A pedometer? No, a podiatrist?
No, not a podiatrist. No.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, the interview with Tucker and the brother was pretty cool, huh? Pretty interesting. You guys all hear that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it's even more convincing than ever, you know?
I'm just amazed that like all these rich people just get a pass. Like, shouldn't they all have to fucking explain what they were doing there and what, you know, none of them did.
Money and power talks, man. You know, come on. Some of the smaller fish are going to get fried. Maybe a couple of the bigger ones because we already know their names. But there's going to be so many of the big fish you'll never hear. I just don't buy they're going to release the whole list. No way.
Okay, so is Nemo going to get his flipper flight or no?
Okay, it was fun watching Jimmy Kimmel self-destruct all last week, though.
Yeah, Aaron Rodgers called him out on that.
I must have missed that. What happened? What happened?
Aaron Rodgers. He's been breaking Aaron Rodgers' balls for the ayahuasca and the Achilles tendon, saying he didn't tear it. He just wanted to stay out of football. You know, the whole 9 yards. So he finally, when they were going to release the list, Aaron Rodgers was on McAfee's show on YouTube, ESPN. And he said, I can't wait till that list comes out and we find out Jimmy Kimmel's name is on it. So Jimmy Kimmel, he blew a fuse and he started to, you know, and here's a guy who here's a guy who says anything and everything he wants about anybody he wants, but yet he can't take and his name was on the list as far as I saw.
A joke that's a little bit truthful.
Well, apparently with the list that they showed, you know, I'm not getting anywhere with that. My son-in-law is an FBI agent, and I asked him about the list. He says he doesn't know anything about it, but I think he's holding back on me. So.
You got to talk to your daughter, you know.
Yeah, I doesn't know anything. They don't know about the missing safe, the missing boxes of tapes, you know, Hunter's laptop.
Well, Kimmel portrays himself as this moral authority for some strange reason. I mean, he ran the Man Show. I mean, what?
I mean, he's got his own big show or whatever. It's an ego thing, right? You know?
Before that, he was on K-Rock as in the 90s, he was the sports guy on K-Rock. I'm serious. In Los Angeles, he was a sports guy.
Didn't Jimmy Kimmel do a load of blackface in the early 2000s?
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
He did.
And just another hypocrite. Yeah.
Is King 10 Jeremy W?
Well, here's the thing. If he wasn't in the slot he is on network television, would anyone actually watch him?
I don't think anybody really watches him now.
Right.
Like, people only watch because he's there.
And you know what's ironic is the one that gave him after he was a sports guy on K-Rock, the one that gave him his fame was Ben Stein on When Ben
Stein's Money, yeah.
Yeah. And he talked the contestant into taking off his pants. Do you remember that?
No. I don't recall. No.
Steven's typing a novel over here.
I don't watch anything on TV, man, anymore. I haven't had TV.
Well, no, this is back in the 90s. This is back in the 90s when.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Television is dead.
Television.
Yeah, I
is
do.
dead.
I'll still
Yeah.
turn on old Howard Stern episodes from time to time, just random old episodes. Man, Howard was the best, dude. That stuff
Yeah.
is still great.
Yeah, he lost it now.
sucks.
That guy.
He sucks.
Yeah, the new stuff.
He
Yeah.
COVID did. COVID
Right.
did him in.
It's not
He
just
just
COVID.
got lost in
It's
COVID.
not just COVID. Well, I tried to listen to him a few times.
I think it was
recently,
the Obama era. That's
and
what
he sounds like a tiger that got declawed and defanged. Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
for sure.
And he sounds kind of defeated. Even he's like not his old self, and he's got no edge whatsoever. And that's what everybody loved about him. It was just so edgy.
You know what it was, too?
I basically got thrown out of Catholic
school.
school for cutting school to just sit in a van and listen to him all morning. Or I'd be late.
He used to
show up
because he
to
used to
school at
attack
11:00, 11:30.
Yeah, he used to attack everybody equally. Now he picks and chooses what he wants to attack, and he lost a lot of his audience because of that. If you're gonna do it.
As soon as Artie Lang left, though, that really hurt the show bad.
Yeah.
Artie was the golden era of Howard Stern, man.
I agree. That was the best era when from the minute he came. One of my favorite things was the Andrew Dice Clay and Artie Lang.
Oh, I love it.
Like when he did. For those that don't know, Andrew Dice Clay comes on Howard Stern, but his career ain't doing too well. And Artie Lang had the power of Stern behind him, so he could fill fucking stadiums by himself. And Andrew Dice Clay asks Artie Lang to open for him. And Artie Lang wasn't like an egomaniac, and he liked Dice, so he just said, "Yeah, that'd be a cool thing. I could say I did a show with Dice." So he does it, and what was it, like $5,000?
$5,000.
How much
for the $5,000?
He was supposed to pay him. He was supposed to pay him $5,000, and Andrew Dice Clay just kept his money. And it was Artie Lang who sold that show. Like most of the people were there to see Artie Lang,
the Borgata,
of the Howard Stern show, not Andrew Dice Clay. And then Andrew Dice Clay didn't pay him, and of course that was the genius of Howard Stern. Like, so Artie Lang is telling Howard Stern, like, this motherfucker didn't pay me. Like, I filled that fucking stadium and he didn't pay me. And it was only $5,000, which to those guys at that level is not a lot of money. So the genius of Howard Stern is he brings them together on the show. Well, I think Dice calls in.
Yeah.
And Howard like tries to mediate the dispute, and Artie Lang just goes nuts. Like, how fucking long do I have to wait for $5,000, Dice? It was one of the best radio bits ever.
It's really good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, even the
Artie
argument
Lang.
Howard
If anybody
and,
wants to
Dice.
see that clip, Artie Lang versus Andrew Dice Clay, just put that in the YouTube search bar. You'll find that fight. It is, but that was the genius of Howard Stern. Like, he would have fights like that every fucking day. Every day you tuned in, and there was something crazy going on. It was so much fun. I used to cut school. I would get in so much trouble. I would sit in a van and just listen to Howard Stern. And when Howard Stern went off, then I would go to school. I kept getting all these late slips and detentions and shit. And then my dad found out and nearly beat my ass, because it's expensive Catholic school. And he was pissed off that I was missing so much of what he was paying for. The school kind of let me off because it didn't count as an absence. I was just late, but I was like 3 hours late every day for months. Miss all my classes. I'd go to the teachers like, "What's the homework? Why were you late?" I was listening to Howard Stern in a van down by the river. Like, I literally was listening to Howard Stern in a van down by the river for hours instead of going to work.
Who sung that song Down by the River? Okay.
Hey, guys used to listen to him in the police cars. We used to listen to him every morning. You could tell if you passed another guy in his police car who was listening to him at the same time, because you'd find somebody laughing.
Oh, that'd be nutty though, because you have to listen to the scanner and Howard Stern at the same time.
It's a lot of noise. Yeah, but after a while, you could pick up the radio. It just became secondhand, so you could listen to whatever. And you'd pass another car, and you'd see the guy laughing, and you'd know he was listening to the same thing you were, And that was some good. Then he got weird, after that. But like you said, he just wore himself out.
He got compromised.
Yeah, and I think letting Artie leave was the biggest mistake that he made, because he really was half that show for that whole period.
What about Jackie the Joke Man?
He was okay, but I liked Artie Lang. I liked Artie Lang endlessly more than I liked. He was too old school comedian for me. He was kind of hokey, but he's talented though, for sure.
So when I moved to South, when I retired from New York, I moved to South Carolina, and they got a show down here in the South called the John Boy and Billy Big Show. It's like
Howard Stern.
Yeah, well, they're like a group of people. They come across like they're supposed to come across as like rednecks and stuff. But I mean, it's pretty funny some of the stuff they do. But yeah, they've been around for years now.
Yeah, and it's funny that Howard Stern was such an influence because, like, if it was for Howard Stern, you wouldn't have 100 other shows. Opie and Anthony came from him, and I, to a certain extent, came from him. So many people that got into doing a show were partially inspired by Howard Stern's show.
I mean Art Bell too. Art Bell as well.
Essentially, like dropped the bar, like how there's raising the bar. He did that, but it was like raising the bar down a level of what you were allowed to broadcast and get away.
Yeah,
with,
you remember
right?
all that FCC? He was getting sued constantly and fined. Yeah.
Well, he built Sirius XM. I mean,
yeah, he really did.
When he left,
yeah, for sure.
It was all him.
But just like.
But it's a hard sell to go from YouTube. Free to you got to pay to listen to him.
It's a lot of money. So yeah, well, that was the thing. I mean, if you're going to get Sirius, you're going to get it for the music or whatever in your car or home. You can do it both now. If you have it in your car, you can have it on a laptop or on your cell phone. So
yeah,
but it's still kind of expensive.
How are you still on YouTube, by the way?
What does that mean?
By being very, very careful.
It's called
we're trying to be careful. Yeah.
All right. Well, why aren't people over at Pilled?
We're
post your
at
Pilled link on YouTube. Can I?
Yeah, I guess we're on as many platforms as we can be to try to grow our audience. So Pilled came to me and wanted me to join there, and we did because I thought I might get some fans. I didn't know I'd get fans like you, or I never would have fucking done this. But it is what it is, bro.
My girlfriend just told me a few on Pilled, but all right. But I put the Pilled link over there. So
you ruined my New Year's, and now you're ruining my
hold on,
year again.
No wonder he gets drunk. You hear her behind him?
You hear her? Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, that's why he drinks.
Say your piece. Say your piece, lady.
Hit us with the Marianne for Brooklyn.
All right, hold on. Let me mute. Why she yelled at me?
Let the lady speak. Come on.
Okay, Kitty, they want you to speak.
Shut up.
Or that's all she wanted to say.
Do you remember the moment where this one woman called into Howard and she was complaining that he was talking about America's Got Talent all the time, and she was just yelling and screaming. He was like, "Your voice, it's the worst. Just please unsubscribe. Never listen again." He was screaming at her, dude. He was like, "You're the reason why these men get divorces. I can't believe." Oh, it's so funny, man. He went wild, man. He's, "I'm gonna cancel your account myself."
Whoop. Yeah. All right, let me show you my.
I don't know what his girlfriend was saying earlier, that he ruined her evening.
Yeah,
now I feel kind of bad. Why don't you go
it sounds like we're in the middle of a situation.
She was sleeping. She was sleeping at that time. But hold on. Let me. Should I show you my?
Dude, that's like, don't cut the red wire. Don't do it.
Yeah, should I show you my true face or no? Or
no, that's on you, my guy. But like,
his eyes will look the same. Oh, there he is.
Dude, you got the setup.
Kitty, come here.
You got rid of the setup for that?
Kitty don't want it. She don't want to show you. Kitty, come here.
No.
We got the camera on. We got everything on.
Don't force her if she doesn't want to.
Yeah.
And tell her I'm sorry if we ruined her evening. I apologize.
Yeah, I got done with my beer show, my 3 beermen girl on the film. I'm glad
you got some cool shit on your wall behind you there.
Yeah. Hey, where's Thin Lizzie? Cool. Say something in the live chat, Thin Lizzie. In the live chat.
She was in there earlier.
Okay.
And then there was 6.
Nobody's still ever unpilled, by the way. I put the pill.
Is it called pilled because everybody is not sober?
Yeah, everybody's on some kind of pills over there.
Right.
This is the
Well, what platform has the next chance though? Is it just Rumble or is it like Rockfin or anything like that? What do you see coming up next?
Okay. Rumble actually they look at their public. Okay, look at who bought them out publicly when they went public. By the way,
Yeah, I'm not hopeful about Rumble for that very reason. And the other reason is that a group of investors, and of course they're supposed to be a free speech platform, but if you look at who bought them, and they already started changing and caving.
Exactly.
So, and the other issue is that I've been on there for like a year and a half, and I think we made $43 in a year and a half. And I get it; we're not getting tens of thousands of views, but come on, like $43. That's.
I was on there for when they first started, and I made over $50. By the way, no, look at Hank Tanley surfer videos on there.
There's a happy cat.
Sorry,
yes,
kitty.
It looks like a.
Look at Hank Tanley and surfer videos.
Looks like a British blue cat.
I made over $50 when I was on there when they first started Rumble, and I haven't even collected because I haven't given my bank account information.
Give it to your girlfriend.
What? My girlfriend? Yeah. No, I will give it to her if I ever collect it. But I made over $50 over there.
Well, I don't know what you did different than me.
For one video. What?
I said, I don't know what you did different than me. I've been posting videos there for a year and a half. We made a grand total of $43 for everything. So when people ask me like, what the next platform is, I say the next big platform for me is going to be the one that pays me as much or more than YouTube. And so far, nobody is. I get a couple of bucks on Twitch.
I'm not
on Rumble.
I'm not in it for the money. Why are you in it for the money?
Well, because it's not that I'm in it for the money. I don't pay my house bills with the money from the show, but I use the money for the show. So, to create a better show, you need resources.
Pays for artwork.
Pays for artwork. Pays for software. Yeah.
No, you have to have
Yeah.
a good show. You have to have good content to create a better show.
Well, we destroyed any chance of that tonight, but thank you. Yes. Thank you. Yeah.
By the way, do we have Arden in the chat here? If she looks in the Discord general chat, I put the link up for Steve's new Amazon Studio wish list.
Oh, did you do this? I told you. He's been trying to get me to
do.
do
You've taken too long, mate.
Makes the dream work, brother.
You've taken too long. So
no, you know what I was going to say is I was going to say I don't really feel comfortable having a wish list for me, but if somebody wanted to help you out so that you can make better AI videos, I'm fine with that. You could have a wish list, or somebody else here. But we have most of what we need. I mean, we always need more stuff, though. Always need better mics or more webcams.
It was stuff that I added, the stuff that I've put on, because it's only I so far that have added stuff to that list. So you've got some camera mic arms, a couple of Shure mics, and not like the 500 quid ones, but like the reasonable 120, 150 quid ones, but that are really good mics. And there's a couple of cheap projectors on there for doing your backgrounds, a couple of projector drop screens, just useful things for the studio. So if people want to, rather than buying a super chat, they can buy you a new mic for the studio.
I guess I never thought about it like that way. I thought
Shure mics are actually really cool. I actually have two. I'm not using one tonight. But,
the CAF mics are also very, very good as well. CAF.
Hey, Stephen.
Neiman,
when you get a second, check in the StreamYard private chat. Continue.
What is that? Oh, something you want me to share.
I was taking for an interlude.
Yeah.
Get a reset.
We need it. Good idea.
Yeah. So this is an old video that I edited a long time ago. The day that I found out that Elizabeth Wilcock had left David Wilcock.
All right, so I don't know. Oh, here she is. Yeah, she wants to say hello. So, guys, my whole shoot is just collapsed. So here we go. If you want to see my killer, this is my killer, everybody. This is my big dodo. She almost choked to death the other day, so we were very, very upset about that. And I want to say that, like, her choking brought me to my knees. As soon as you called me, sweetheart, and told me what was happening, I fell to the ground. I cried, and I said, God, please don't take my dog. Please don't take my dog. So that was incredibly awful. Let's cut to this. Is it that one, or is it that one? Or is it that one? There it is. It's 3. Okay, so there's our dog. And she wanted to be part of this too. So, sweetheart, did you want to say a little something about what you're going to be talking about in the class?
I will be talking about the returning cycle of the sacred feminine. So, really, the 2,000-year cycle, the sacred feminine returns. So, I'll be sharing information on that. Exactly.
Well, and I noticed too. I mean, you've been taking notes on like everything that I've been talking about. So she's going to be really, really studying the material in the class, and then giving a curriculum that weaves in the cycles of history, the geometry, the solar flash, interplanetary climate change, Christ consciousness. She's going to be tying it all together with me. So all of this material will be thematic and interconnected. But what's cool is that you're going to get her unique perspective on it. Because honestly, part of how she was able to land me is that, because it's true. I mean, like I had lots and lots and lots of proposals, to put it mildly. So it's because of what Elizabeth has been doing for the public. Yeah, that's true. We knew each other for 3 years. So there's no romantic interest. Jeez. And I circled back.
No romantic interest.
I said, you know what? She has never tried to take advantage of me or take advantage of the access to me. She has my phone number. She doesn't call me very often. This is the kind of person I can really trust. And by God, it has worked. So thank you, sweetheart. Thank you for everything you do. You look ravishing today. And do you want to say anything else about what you're going to say in the class before we start the meditation?
I always tune in, so it's going to be a bonus. It'll be a 2-part bonus. And I tune in to the people that are present.
Dude, he is
and
awkward,
I normally
creepy,
speak
right?
about
Holy.
the themes of the sacred warrior and the sacred feminine and how they
No, Simon, I did this.
I mean, the
empower
edit
each
definitely
other.
helps present
So I
that, but
draw
like
from
it's
many years
he
of
is
the martial
giving you the
arts and
content you need.
Taoist
Boy.
studies and my love of returning the sacred feminine and the role of priestess back to society. So I call it the third role for women because there's wife, there's mother, and then there's this other role that women had 2,000 years ago, 5,000 years ago, a sacred role where
we're going to pull focus on her now. Thank you, buddy. Now I get to
She's
be
actually
bored.
pretty hot.
For women,
for sure, yeah.
I wonder how you got a woman like that.
He's a loser. That's how he got her. He's a total loser.
8 million reasons in his bank account, I'm sure.
So that's one of my sacred charges is to bring that back, be a part of bringing that back. So I'll be talking about those types of things.
And I've always really enjoyed your teachings. I think that you, even for me with all my lofty knowledge, there's something about when you have a person who's living through these teachings and processing them and going through the hardships of daily life and then applying those teachings to the hardships of daily life, where when you get that kind of informed perspective, it's a lot more meaningful than somebody who just writes a book, but they're not really out there living that message. And I do believe you're living the message, and that's why we got together in the first place.
I've been in the field for a long time. And now we're continuing. So we happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Oh yeah.
To all of you.
Hi, Mom.
mothers.
Happy Mother's Day.
To
Hi,
our
both
mothers.
moms.
Happy Mother's Day, and just we welcome all the people that are going to be a part of this class. We're going to spend many, many hours together as a family.
Yeah, and you're going to have two whole sections that are going to be coming out in the middle of the week. So while you're in the middle of the launch, it's just like every couple of days you're going to get something new, something new, something new. And so she's going to have extended teachings for you that are really wonderful. It's going to be on the set. It's going to look beautiful. I'm very excited about it.
That must have been so difficult for her. Oh my god!
So that was actually just 5 minutes real time that I cut around in. I didn't add any other footage from anywhere. That was just 5 minutes real time with David Wilcock.
So that is how she is. That was how she was with him.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
really.
Oh
yeah.
my!
They seem like they had that awkwardness, like they're playing a couple. You know, like that's weird.
Say some shit.
Well,
That
he
was the ultimate
he
moment.
had his wizard staff in his hand. He's like, I am Mr. Magic. And she's like going, okay, mate.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Yeah. All that whole scene aside of ufology, I've just never, it missed me, man. That's crazy.
It's my wheelhouse for sure. Where I do most of
Well,
my
I was
research.
I was never into either of those guys as a real information source. From
Right.
the very beginning, I'm watching this shit going, what? You went to Mars? You fucking liar. Like, I thought the whole thing was stupid, you know, but I would watch it because it was like entertaining how stupid and out there it was, you know. And remember, they kept needing more material. So at the very beginning, it was a lot more serious. Corey Good was all serious, and, you know, there's this secret program, and you know.
Okay, so what we see from
Okay, wait. Someone is breaking cardinal rule number 1 right now and not wearing headphones.
Yeah, that's Christian Maris.
Yeah, my phone's gonna go dead, so I got to skip out on you guys.
Oh, okay.
Oh, right on.
It's good to meet you, man.
Yeah, you too, guys. It was a pleasure. I had fun.
Okay,
awesome.
Have a good night.
You too.
So
have a night.
So Corey and David launched their careers talking about Mars, secret space programs, all that sort of stuff. At which point then Corey turned around and said, nah, actually I was making it all up, but it is my intellectual property. It's from my imagination. This is my material. If anyone tries to steal the blue chickens, I'll have them. So,
and those
and David said, whoa, I know we were making it all up, but loads of people believe me now, and I'm actually getting loads of money. So if I continue with the people that believe me, I can still rake that money in. And Corey's going, yeah, but it's not real, mate. At which point they have a fallout because one of them's going, it's not real, mate. The other one's going, I know, but we can make money from it.
Do you mean that the blue chicken was imaginary? Because they were delicious. Did they add food coloring to the blue chicken? Because they were delicious.
The only blue chicken I ever remember was if you guys played Ocarina of Time, that Zelda game. There was a moment where you got the blue chicken where you traded for the bottle. And so there was like that one moment in time. That was the blue chicken I ever knew, man.
I'm just saying the blue chickens were delicious. They were delicious, like Smurf. Oh my gosh, I thought it was Smurf chicken.
Did you follow along with the blue chickens as it was happening?
Yes, I did because Cliff High said.
You followed Cliff High.
Oh yeah, I did for a long time.
Yeah, we know Cliff High.
Sorry to hear that.
I'm a Cliff High follower, by the way.
Oh
man. Okay. So, and the only reason why I even got but they were delicious. Are you telling me they added food coloring to make them like Smurf meat or the Gargamel? Yeah. Damn it. But no, they were delicious. Actually.
Anyway, he used to tell people that blue chicken aliens are real. Now David Wilcock is telling people to take baths in their own piss.
I know, and then Cliff told me that he could no longer do the reports because it was looping. Yeah, like mother of all space, like mom, like Yeah, mother of yeah, he told me that because of David, not David Icke, David Wilcock, not David Wilcock, it was that other Corey Good, because of the blue chicken people was looping back his data. I loved his reports, by the way. I bought them all. I did buy his reports. And I love Cliff High's reports. And then he told me that Corey Good was fucking up his report because it was looping back the data, because he was using his data and reposting it on the internet, and it was looping the reports. And I love.
We've heard this 100 times before.
Yeah.
He did interviews here talking about that. And
I'll be honest, I never did quite understand what that all meant. Like even when he's explained it,
it doesn't make sense. He's basically saying that Corey Good and David Wilcock messed up his data sets somehow.
I don't.
Okay,
is it like internet searches? Is it trends and stuff?
Okay,
like,
no.
What is it?
He put out like crawlers. Okay, I understood it because when he put crawlers on his reports, and then it got reports on his reports, right? It looped back the information, right? Okay.
But how can it, if the information is coming from David and Corey, how is it looping back? Because if it's looping back, then Cliff's the person that invented it, not
because they're taking Cliff's reports, reposting it. They're reposting what he's saying, and it's looping back. What
was he posting in the reports?
He was posting what he found on his reports. They were
about what?
reposting.
Found out about what though? Like what kind of subject?
Do you know anything about Cliff High? Okay. Do you know anything?
It's a bullshit.
Do you know anything about Cliff High? Okay.
Dude, it's been like 4 years, but yeah.
He had a lexicon of words where he was searching. Okay. He was searching this lexicon of words, and then he was searching certain keywords and what they were talking about, right?
Okay, and then he would publish that in a report that then David and Corey read, and then use specific terms from that report to flood the system with an overabundance with that term to skew his results. Is that what you're saying?
No, not intentionally. Not yes, but not intentionally. Not you're.
Okay,
you're
so they've
like
unintentionally skewed his data, and that's why he's upset.
Unintentionally, yeah.
One person selling.
There's search engine de-optimization.
He sold it, and I bought those reports. By the way, he sold.
Do you have
it,
them?
And then
Can you show us them? That'd be cool.
What?
Do you have them like maybe not even today? Like
they auto report. I
speaking of Corey Good.
I do.
Speaking of Corey Good.
Do you see that Linda Moulton Howe's the woman as well?
Jesus Christ. Linda Moulton Howe is the woman, and Corey Good is the guy, and they fooled us.
It's hostile, Stephen.
Penn and Teller.
Do that.
Oh, that's proprietary information, and I can't share it.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
We have our own mix of a bunch of different stuff.
It's
and
AI though, right?
Yes, and it may become a commercial.
What graphics card are you rocking? What graphics card you got?
Yeah, you need a good graphics card to run it. You need a decent graphics card, or it won't run well.
I'm running an RTX 4070 12 gig with 32 gig of DDR4 system memory.
I'm going to be getting
I can render something like that in about
TI thing.
minutes.
Yeah,
you guys.
I have a 20 series. I'll be upgrading soon. It's time.
You do get a 40 series. Literally get a 47.
Well, I might
get anything less than a 47.
I was going to get the TI Super is coming out soon, so I was just going to get that. The
I was gonna get the optic.
Ti Super.
I was gonna get the 43 optics, but you guys, that doesn't come out till 2362. But you guys, what what the future AI? I'm going to run the 62 optics. What? Wait, how far in the future are you guys?
The year is currently 2051. Free thought is outlawed. They may come and get me at any second.
All right, but I was gonna run the optics.
And we got Riley Martin joining the panel.
Wait, no.
Let's hope he's a little silver than the rest of
Wait, I gotta run.
Hey man, how you doing, Steven?
How you doing, Riley?
You'd realise that Gary, the best hacker in the UK, could well join under a pseudonym.
He's welcome to.
That would be cool. Gary's a cool guy.
I just want to say, man, that
I'm gonna get a beer. I'm gonna get a beer, guys.
Great. Go ahead.
I think you're really cool, man.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, I think, by the way, Gary.
Oh my goodness, I'm getting slap happy, man. I'm not gonna lie to you. Oh boy, that's funny.
Did you know, ice cream shots? We used to do these for 8 hours at a shot.
You're a strong man for that. You're a strong.
I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. We're already past 2 hours.
My favorite one was the one where I wrapped my head in tinfoil for about 2 hours. That was painful.
Oh,
literally sucks the life out of you, doesn't it?
Sometimes it does.
Every time I do one of these, I say, I'm not fucking doing these anymore. But everybody keeps asking me to. And then I say, it's going to be just as fucking bad as the last one. And nobody listens.
Last one I was on.
And then I got to do it again. And then the same
last one I was
cycle
on with Ryder
repeats.
Lee was actually a really good panel.
Yeah.
So I asked
was a good
ChatGPT-4
show.
about aliens, by the way. Do you want to know what it says?
What did it say, man?
Who is this guy?
According to theory,
really good, though. It's funny, man.
consciousness is not something that emerges from the interactions of neurons, but rather is a fundamental property of matter and can be found in any system that can vibrate in harmony. There is speculation that there might be other forms of consciousness that exist on higher or lower levels of vibration than humans, and that we might be able to communicate with them through resonance.
That's cool, man.
And that's ChatGPT-4's current stance on what aliens are.
What the fuck does that mean, man?
How do you deliver it that well?
That's really good. Yeah.
Picture with it, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about, baby.
Tell me about that time you drove a 1978 Camaro across the Mojave at night. Tell me.
Listen, man. I just want to talk about the Beavians, man.
The Beavians? What
The Beavians. The Blavians.
Yeah, man. Have
You ever heard of Corey Good, man?
Corey Good?
His brother's called Barry Bad.
That man.
Barry Bad.
Barry Bad.
I thought Barry was the third cousin's brother.
No. That's Dick Cousins.
Hey, man, I just want to say, I think you're really cool, Steven.
Great.
How
Right
much
on,
Baileys
man.
have you drunk this evening, Riley Martin?
I don't drink, man. I don't drink.
What was it like in the Civil War?
The Civil War? Motherfucker, I don't know. Civil War.
Are you part of any kind of militia?
A Yankee or a Confederate? Or...
What?
A Yankee?
Motherfucker, I come here to talk about UFOs.
All right, cool.
Have you ever had a UFO experience?
Yeah.
Man,
Would you like
it's
to
gonna-
regale us the story?
Look how slow this guy is talking. It's going to take him 3 hours to tell us the story, you dumbass.
That's the first thing I thought.
Sorry.
We're never going to get out of here now. We're never going to get out of here.
You're welcome.
Go ahead. See
tell
how
us the
fucking
story.
bad this is going to get.
Well, one day I was lying in bed, and all of a sudden, big blue light came through the wall, and I goes floating outside. I goes up into the lights. I get into the ship. And all of a sudden, these fucking aliens, they comes at me. They comes at me from left. They comes at me from right. And I didn't know what to do.
It
Stop
wasn't
laughing.
intentional.
This is a serious
by the way.
story.
No, it wasn't intentional. It was just like this.
Why are you laughing at my story, man? Well,
So what happened after
Don't
that?
laugh.
Did you wake up in your bed, or did you have any residual marks, or what? How were you feeling?
How was your
where did I get to, man? I'm high as fuck.
All right, well, can you
No,
finish
not
the
really,
story?
Talmud, but thank you for saying that. We appreciate you. Thanks for being a member. Yeah.
No, we
Hold
didn't
on,
mean it. By the way, we did not
Hold
mean
on,
it.
man.
God, bro.
No, we did not mean that.
The aliens are real, man. They come from the pyramids.
We're not. We're not. We're not.
They come from the
What?
pyramids. Wow. Okay, so they're
Wow,
living
look
in
at
the
this.
pyramids. We can't get
Eric
to them.
Still, who's a member, says
No.
this is the worst OnlyFans experience I've ever had, and he wants his
They
money
come from the
back.
pyramids. Listen, man. I'm trying to tell you my story. You're not listening.
I'm listening.
We're listening.
I'm listening.
Just another day
Listen,
in
man.
ufology.
Do you have Chewbacca in a picture frame behind you?
Listen, man.
I do.
I'm trying to remember
Yes.
my story.
It's signed by Peter Mayhew.
No kidding.
Hey, leave Peter. I'm a personal friend, actually.
I was
of
gonna say,
Peter and
did
his
it come
wife.
with the? Oh, so it's a huge.
Well, his
picture.
wife now,
Okay,
obviously,
okay.
is passed. But
It looked like a little picture of like your girlfriend or something you put on your desk. That was very funny. But okay, I got what you got with it now.
Nah, I'd rather have a picture of Chewbacca on my
I
desk
have-
than
I have
my
the,
girlfriend or wife.
I have the mascot from my old channel.
I have a
Cool.
hula girl on my dash.
I have Star
Yeah,
Wars
yeah.
reliquary, preserved Ewok.
Rogue status. I haven't seen you in a while. Welcome.
Of all things.
I do have a hula girl on my good dash.
I got a
I
picture
have
of my
some
cat
genuine
taking a
Ewok
What
legitimate
kind of
bite
show
out
are
of
you
it.
running,
It's on my desk.
Steven?
I never understood
Any
this
of
shit.
you
It always
have-
turns into show and tell. They're like, what are we in
Any of
third
you
grade?
have-
And it's fucking show and tell time. Like, look at my cat. Look at my dog.
I mean,
People do all
When
that shit.
when you look at the caliber of the conversation, can you blame us?
No, probably not. Yeah.
Yeah.
Camp
Yeah.
Steven, do you remember this, dude? Do you remember that show? You can see it maybe on the sign in the back there. Remember that show Talk is Cheap on YouTube? Remember them?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that sign. I won that
Oh,
sign
right.
from them. They had that contest back in the day, dude, where they were talking about like changing their the tagline of their show. I just wonder if you remember them, dude.
What is
was an old
that?
YouTube channel I used to watch all the time.
Genuine sample of Ewok.
Ah. Oh,
in
really?
like a acrylic block like that.
That's cool.
Oh, that's cool.
Actual Ewok fur. There you go.
Mr. Ian's made
How
a lot
that's
of
worth
cool
anything
props.
rather than
He's made a
some
whole
Ewok fur.
shit ton of Star Wars props.
Just imagine someone spent an awful lot of money on a genuine existing Return of the Jedi Ewok suit and then cut it up with scissors.
We moved the ball forward tonight.
Are you into furries? No. No, the furry. No, that culture is really weird.
You're saying
Yeah.
something is weird. Okay. Yeah. Totally
Are you-
legit claim to make. Bob.
Are you into furries?
I started playing D&D recently. I got some cool dice.
Oh, look at them! They're
Recently,
nice. They light up LED dice.
Right?
A six-sided,
they're like
six-sided
they've got
die
like stuff
is
inside
actually.
of them.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
The camera's
you
not
have
very good, folks.
You have a six.
I was watching a
that's an
thing the other
eight-
day with a guy with
is
a
that eight
linishing
or
machine.
six?
And
That's
he'd
a
done
six.
sapphire.
One at a time. There's 3 of you talking at once. Stop it. Damn it.
Beautiful.
Okay, sorry.
Sorry, Dad.
Jesus Christ.
Oh no, Riley's
nice
coming back.
guys.
He's waking up.
Oh, God.
He's waking up from his stupor.
They can.
Now I know what to. Now I know what to print. Sorry.
They can set a headset on you and download into your neurotronic syntaxes from various different, very complicated historical and scientific equations and things of this nature.
Riley, I have a question.
Yeah.
Did you ever call into Coast to Coast without Bell?
Yeah.
Did you see swamp gas or was it like the swamp gas?
He really does look like he's having a fucking stroke. Dude, he's reached like slur level of stroke.
Rings around the swamp grass.
Oh dear.
Oh,
You have nothing to fear from the sky. If you want to look up,
Okay,
look up at Capitol Hill and fear that.
So are you based in Washington, D.C.?
I don't know where I am currently, but
UFO
it's fucking
Shane.
cold, man.
UFO Shane, I'm kind of pissed off at you because he's always like, come to my spaces, Steven. Come to my spaces. Come on. I'm doing this space. It's going to be really cool. Come to my spaces, Steven. So today I did. And I wasn't there 5 minutes. And people in his space would tell me to suck a dick. And I'm a motherfucker. And I'm a cocksucker. And all this stuff. I'm like, thanks, UFO Shane, you asshole. Come to your spaces. Why? So people can tell me to go fuck myself? Come on, dude.
Oh, well, you forgot that people think that Twitter is the peak of ufology and where all the actual researchers are, which is not true.
No.
So it's unsurprising that you had that experience because they're not actual researchers.
Are you talking about like in like voice chat though, or was it like in the text chat that was? Like,
Well, the type of people that are in Twitter UFO spaces.
Yeah, no, but Cambion, were like people yelling that at you with voice?
No, it was verbally. Yeah, they were in his spaces.
No way, dude.
And,
oh my
and
god.
it was just like this. I wasn't even a speaker. He just told me to come in, and I was like, well, I'm busy, but I'll listen. So I went in as a listener, and I'm not there 5 minutes, and somebody out of the blue is like, I just noticed Stephen Cambion is listening. You can suck a dick. Fuck you, Stephen Cambion. Fuck you. Fuck you, Steve Cambion. What are you doing here? And I'm like, damn, Shane told me to come in spaces and these people. And it wasn't just one person. It was like 3 people. Tell me what an asshole I am. And it was bad. It was funny, though. I fucking cracked up. I was cracking up.
You know what that means? It means you're over the target, Stephen.
Yeah, I guess so.
I mean, you gotta laugh at that stuff. What else can you do, though? You know,
You're being chased. You're carrying the ball, mate.
Well, you know what I did? What I thought? What my takeaway from that is I was right there, and they were speakers. They could have said, "Here's all the things you've gotten wrong in your reporting, Stephen." They didn't do that. You know why? Because my reporting is very, very accurate and good, and they can suck a dick. So they just told me I'm a cocksucker. You know.
I mean, let's be honest. Like the reason they probably mad at you is probably extremely shallow. I mean, it's probably not a very deep-rooted thought, behind something that you said.
Yeah,
I mean,
most people cope
let's be
by
honest,
projecting. Most people cope by projecting. And once you
Yeah.
realize that most people cope by projecting, a lot of the stuff that's said to you isn't personal to you. It's just them projecting. It's more about that.
So what you're saying is those people are motherfuckers and cocksuckers, not me, right, Ian? I think you might be onto something. Yeah.
Swamp gas. It's all swamp gas and weather balloons. The weather balloons are swamp gas and weather balloons. I'm sure.
For me, I think people get like they fail to see a separation between like going after people grifting and promoting false stories and belief in UFOs. They can be two totally different things. Like I've had experiences, I believe in UFOs, but I work to expose the grifty machinations of the culture. Like you can have two different lenses on it.
Do you not find, Carrie, that it's because we have a perspective from the experience, it's easier to spot the people that are bullshit.
And you know what? I think you're absolutely right. I just heard Stephen Greenstreet's talking about that. People confusing, factual report. What are you saying? You're saying UFOs aren't real?
Yeah.
No.
I'm saying what he specifically said is not true. Like people put everything else on it and they shouldn't.
Yeah,
but most people don't dig more than an inch deep on anything, though. I mean, and that's just kind of how we're trained, though, nowadays with social media. It's just you click over the title or the TikTok video, the 20 seconds. I mean, that's all you're gonna get. Most people just don't have time, dude. I think that's one of the biggest problems, like getting this topic at all in the mainstream, is people just don't have the time, dude. I mean, think about how much.
I remember when I was a kid. I think the human attention span because we were taught when we were trying to give lectures and stuff, you were taught that every 22 minutes or something like that, you had to change it up and basically give the audience a rest because human attention didn't expand past 22 minutes. But now, and this was when I did my training, maybe like 30 years ago, and now that's reduced and it's something like 4.5 minutes. It's not even 22 minutes anymore.
Well, I mean, look at this. I mean, you think about making intros and stuff for your show, and then you're like, everybody just skips it. Who cares? I mean, I don't know. Do you even spend time on that anymore? Unless it's live. I mean, I like to too.
Safety manuals anymore. They've worked out that doing a single sheet of pictures, like a flow chart, means that people will read it and
You're
understand.
right, though. Everybody's attention span is nothing now.
It just stays in the box with the receipt.
We can thank smart devices for that.
Yeah, it's just like if it's live, you can like stick people into watching stuff like that. But I mean, if you give them the chance to skip it, I mean, you're jumping through the video, dude.
And hyper editing.
But it's not necessarily an evolution of instructions.
We've gotten so used to cut,
absorb just the same amount from a single sheet of images than you would have from a pamphlet of books.
As an alien, can I ask this guy, what's the difference between a vagina and a cunt?
Oh my god.
What's the difference?
The attitude.
Okay.
Did you forget the fucking punchline? Really?
I just have so many inappropriate replies.
I'm sorry, I was too drunk. I remember the joke, but not the punchline.
We had such a serious, cool convo, and then it just gets fucking smashed. Dude.
That's panel shows.
Them curveballs.
Flash poll: should I start making videos?
Why shouldn't you? If you want to do it, do it.
You're brilliant.
Without getting into specifics, I had a very bad experience last year that left me creatively completely gutted in terms of my interest.
What happened?
I'm not going to talk about it.
He's not gonna.
I'm not going to talk about it, but like it just led me to not want to do anything.
One at a time.
Yeah, I have a workshop full of unused printers at the moment.
Was this a sex tape, man?
It was a sex tape. It was It was
definitely. Will you at least
side of my house
will you at least spooky give it to me in the sense of like, was it just like like feedback? You just didn't like a certain feedback, or
no? I had a big professional thing that happened.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of get where you're going with that. Then. Yeah,
but there was a lot of trust involved, trust burns in that as well. So you have to kind of rebuild that. The propensity to say the outside world, they're all cunts.
Can I apologize for asking the question?
Focusing on other subjects. I did a few minutes.
I do want to apologize for asking a question. I didn't mean it. I was drunk.
Yeah, no
Go
shit.
ahead now. We've got the alien. The drunk alien is muted, so maybe we can try this again.
I mean, if you feel like you have your like the outcome you want from making videos, though, I mean, if you know what that outcome is and you're able to achieve it, I mean, why not? You know.
Follow your dreams, man.
God, I knew it was
Think
coming,
it,
dude.
dream it, do it. Think it, dream it.
I don't know. Like, what else can you say though? I
spooky
mean, besides
thing.
that,
I know.
I'm pretty good.
Steven knows the situation, and
I'm a pretty good editor, and like Spooky is so much better than me, and I do pretty well as a solo guy mostly here. So there's no reason that you can't.
I mean, I got to the point of doing editing on feature-length documentaries for people, and now I don't do that anymore.
What documentaries are they, man?
I'm not going to.
Yeah, but I mean, everybody. Here's the thing, though, Spooky. Like, everyone gets let down. You know, in anything with video or any kind of
anything creative for sure.
Let me tell you a story. Let me tell you a story real quick. I went to school for film. Okay. And I went to a post-production conference, like editing and stuff. That's my thing. That's what I always wanted to do, blah, blah, blah. I went to a post-production conference and I had this guy talk to me, and he's like, oh, I was wearing a Twitch TV hat. Like, I used to stream on Twitch like years ago, like 2013, way before it was huge. And I had like an Ice Cream Shots hat with the Twitch TV. And he goes, well, what is Twitch TV? And I said, I stream, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And he goes, okay, cool. And I said, yeah, I had a subscription to Avid at that time. Not really a subscription. I owned the software. Like, I bought it, dropped $1,000, boom, had Avid 7 when it came out. I was so excited because that's what I used in school. Was actually Avid. We didn't use anything else.
I went to film school too. We used Avid. And
so design now, by the way.
Yeah. So long story short, the guy had just randomly walked up to me in front of my teachers because like teachers were there too. They was kind of going to the thing on the side, and he goes, "You have Avid, right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "Oh, I'd like you to cut my next film." And I'm like, "Okay, this is really weird. I've never had a guy come up to me like this. This is strange." And the teacher next to me goes, "Well, that's networking, man. You know, that's how it works." And he gave me the script, sent me everything, said that Ron Jeremy had a role in it. Said that I'm forgetting the other name of this lady. The gay lady who played, or Kathy Bates. He said Kathy Bates was in this thing, everything, dude. And like, I'm 20 years old, dude, like 22, 23 years old. I don't know anything about this stuff, right? And then I end up driving out to the guy's house, and you realize that his dad is supposedly funding all of these like short films he's doing, but they're terrible, you know, and all these actors and stuff. It's all bullshit and lies and stuff like that. So at that time, I was like telling people around me, like, I don't know, man, maybe I got this thing with this. I got lucky. And then you find out that it's just crap. And it's like a major letdown. But I feel like, Steven, you know what I'm talking about. You probably
I do because I told the story before. The quick version is I decided I was doing magic shows, and I was doing very good with that. And people kept telling me you can make a lot of money on the side doing acting. And what you do is basically acting anyway, and kind of talked me into it. So I started acting in some small films, and so many people turned out to be complete and total bullshitters.
They are.
They wouldn't give me the money they promised, and I wasn't a SAG actor, so I was indie. You know, like they wouldn't give me the money. Or I can't tell you. I can't tell you how many films that I went and filmed the scenes to, like spent days filming scenes, and then the movie never finished. They never did anything with the whole movie. So there's a lot of bullshit goes on in the whole.
Oh, mate, look, I get calls. I get calls from Sony Music Productions here in the UK because they know that I've got a spacesuit. I imported an Apollo 15 suit. So there are apparently not a lot of those in the UK. So I get calls off them and they say, we'll give you 300 quid for an appearance and we'll pay you petrol. You go, okay. So you just take the suit. Some actor will have it on for maybe an hour and then you drive home with it. And you want to be paid your 300 quid and your fuel. So I'm looking at taking maybe 400 quid cash home with me. They never pay you. I've done it twice. They never pay you. Oh, wait a second. They put it in the expenses, and apparently Sony are going to pay you, and they never do. And so they're just doing it all on a wing and a prayer.
Yeah, there's so many bullshitters.
But Ice Cream Shots is right. There's a lot of letdowns. You got to, in order to do something that you're passionate about, you're going to have to deal with a lot of letdowns.
Well, you're going to get screwed over. It's just what's going to happen, you know?
If you let yourself,
Yeah.
They're very much of the mind that because they're Sony Music Productions that you got to come and work with them. It was like a party, man. Why'd you need paying?
I've been there too. It's called there's a name for it, but I can't think of it. But yeah, no, I've been there too. By the way,
they think that that you are happy just to have been involved in the project.
No,
you know,
well,
you can use it on your resume. You know, what do you need to be paid for?
If you watch, it's on Amazon Prime.
He sounds like he's having a fucking stroke again.
No.
Yeah.
If you watch the movie, Hour to Kill, I set up that whole first scene. No, I actually set up the whole first scene for my friend Aaron.
What's this motherfucker talking about, man?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows. All right, back to the mute. I don't know how, but he's able to unmute his mic. I mute him, and then he unmutes.
But Harry, what was your takeaway ultimately from the American trip last year? Then, so that just didn't.
Oh no, the trip was good. It was a 3-week adventure around America, interviewing some people, and it was great. Like, I can't fault America for being America.
Yep.
No, it was great. Like, saw New York, saw LA, saw the Colorado Rockies like 8 times. Saw Northern California. I saw the Truthseeker house. That was very cool. We went for a cheesesteak at like 11:30 at night.
Bucket list item there.
Probably one of the coolest moments of the trip was when I was flying back, and as I had like an 18-hour layover in New York, and I flew into New York at about 1 in the morning, and the plane came along the length of Manhattan, and I looked down. I'm on the left side of the plane, and I can see like the whole city, and I see Times Square like all lit up, and I was like, I have to go there. I don't care what it takes. I have to go there. So fast forward like 3 hours, and I'm sat by myself in the middle of Times Square, and there's nobody around. And that was how I ended that whole trip, was just sitting
amazing
by myself in Times Square with nobody around, and it was really surreal.
The signs lit up and everything like that.
It was like
I've been at Times Square at 5 o'clock in the morning when there was nobody there. It's cool.
Wow.
It's very cool, but it's very bright. Like, I was like, walking back down like 8th Avenue, I was like, yeah.
Dude, I've never been to New York. Cool. I want to go do a pizza run, dude. Go there and just go hit every pizza spot for 2 or 3 days.
Going to the Ground Zero, that was very, very interesting. It was
okay.
I'm from Philly. I'm not.
What is there now? Like a park, a commemorative?
Is that right?
So there's 2 inverted waterfalls that mark the perimeter of the 2 towers, and then there's a museum, and then the new World Trade Center Tower, and then World Trade Center 5. They basically built buildings around the plaza where it used to be, and then have the plaza kind of just be open.
Yeah.
I had a very cool moment. Well, I say cool. It was an introspective moment. I was sat on a bench, basically where the car lobby, the car lobby for the North Tower, where you like drove off of West Street into underneath like the awning. That's the word, awning. The bench was basically there, and then I knew where that bench was in relation to everything going on, and like I just had this moment of like, oh my god. Like, I had that connective moment to the event and being like, oh god, like I know where I am in relation to like this thing.
Did you see it unfolding on Sky News then? I think it opened up.
I did. It was Sky News,
gone, and then you watched it live. So saw the second.
I got home from school I got home from school just after the first tower collapsed, I think.
Yeah. So it was on the news, and they were already reporting.
Yeah. And then I watched the second tower come down, and I thought it was a movie. And I was like, what is this? And my mum's like crying, and I'm like, what? And she's like, this is real life.
Work, and my wife called me and said,
it was like it wasn't real, wasn't it?
And I was like, uh-oh, what's going on? And she said, put on CNN. And I did. And that was just after the first plane hit. And then I watched live the second plane hit.
Right.
Yeah, and the interesting part to me is very recently, right before that event, I had been on the observation deck.
Oh, shit.
The towers. I had been standing right there. And like, if you had told me while I was standing there at the observation deck that would have happened, or that anything could take those buildings down, I wouldn't believed you. Like those
Yeah.
buildings were so magnificent when you stood at that observation deck at that height and saw how huge they were, and like, I don't know. And then a few weeks later, they're both, demolished in that event. It was weird for me. It was like surreal watching that on television, having just had been there not long before that.
What were your thoughts as you watched the second plane come in?
When I saw I turned the TV on, they were doing the replay of like the first one, but when I saw the second one, that's the moment I knew this is some sort of crazy attack. This is crazy because I could see one plane go off course.
Hold on, you
pilot
saw the first one
drunk,
flying.
or
I remember.
I've never saw the first one.
Well, there's
Actually,
video.
There's two videos. There's the Norday footage, and then there was a guy who
I've
was
never
filming
saw
on
the
his dash
first
cam just before he went into the Holland Tunnel.
So do you think the
I've never saw the first one, by the way. Can you place that in the chat?
do
I've
you
never saw
think
the
Just Google Norday
just
North
Google
Tower
the
footage.
9/11
Yeah.
footage.
It's like some of the most
been all over the internet for since 2001.
For years and years, there was only one angle. That second angle only came out years later when the guy realized that he'd accidentally recorded it in his on his camera. So
Riley,
it's
what were you going to say?
Yeah, man.
Listen, Matt, I watched 9/11 on the TV, and I don't know. I don't know if it happened. Do you think it happened? Anybody think it happened?
There's a YouTube channel where this guy's got he's got like a bunch of up-res video of all that old video. It's pretty interesting to look at.
Oh yeah, I'm in the archivist Discord with that guy.
Oh, no kidding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I seen that like last year or something. I was like, that's difficult to watch, but it's interesting,
Yeah.
Because everybody was talking about holograms. Yeah, the holograms.
I'm not talking about the holograms. I'm talking about I don't believe it. There was holograms.
When I've watched the playback of the second plane entering the building,
The buildings aren't there anymore.
it doesn't seem to be right, and there seem to be
No
parts of the
shit.
plane that explode before the building.
There's no holograms.
Jesus Christ.
There's no holograms.
I'm sorry that I opened this can of
I don't
worms.
know, man.
I
don't know, man.
Somehow we got onto holographic planes.
Yeah.
Did any of you see the new angle that came out about a year ago from one of the ferries on the river?
I
It's like
saw
a new
it.
angle.
No. Yeah,
Right.
I saw
So it's a new angle from a guy on a ferry, and he gets like a shot of the plane coming in for a good 15 seconds before.
Yeah.
Wow.
There's no holograms.
No.
It wasn't the fact that the Americans had billions of dollars tied up in secret projects that they wanted to cancel and forget about, so they just knocked down all the evidence.
Well, allegedly,
That's what it looks the rest
the
of the
floors
world.
on the North Tower are allegedly where a lot of the servers holding this financial data were being held. Allegedly.
Yeah.
I thought that was the Pentagon.
Convenient.
Pentagon
Building
was-
7
that got
too
hit.
had a lot of those records.
Did it?
And,
Did it?
Right.
And
That might have been the
and
Pentagon. Yeah.
I
mean,
love
who
the
did
whole
that benefit?
Building 7
So
thing.
if-
Oh, nothing to see here. No plane hit it. It just suddenly caught on fire.
Well, no,
by
who did it
itself at the
benefit?
same
Who did it
time and
benefit
just
ultimately?
demolished itself.
What actually
nothing
was?
to see here.
I hate to be a Building 7 poo-pooer, but like, if you notice when the North Tower collapsed, a lot of that northern facade slammed across the street into that building. So below the building line, there was a huge gouge out of the bottom bit of the building that was
Right, so it was
clouded
like a
in all the
foul
smoke.
tray.
So like
Okay,
there was only pictures from the
and then
north
there
side
was-
of the building.
suddenly there
But on the
was a
south side of
fire.
Building 7, it was all gouged out that we didn't really
And what
see.
about the Pentagon, man?
Yeah,
You
man.
know?
I mean, I find it hard to believe that
Hey.
that pilot was able to do a 270-degree
you're-
turn in that
Yeah,
jet,
that's
but
a weird
I
one.
have to,
isn't it? That's a
yeah.
real weird one, man.
I have to check on something. I'll
Okay.
be right back.
You're
But
talking about
you
He's
assholes
asking his
will keep
handlers.
this up.
He's asking his
January-
handlers if we can continue this conversation.
January 6th or January 7th or 8th. Yeah, whatever. My
What was
buddy.
it that went into the
How did
Pentagon,
the
man?
plane flip its wings back and disappear entirely?
Dude, the
into
comic relief
Pentagon?
is incredible.
Apparently, it hit the ground just
What?
before it hit the building. There was an
Electric
electrical generator that got hit. So like the theory is like it busted the wings off. In this, we're talking like milliseconds here. So it really did, but like it was already, the momentum had already been sheared off of the wings.
That's
so
because
have as much
the Earth
impact.
is flat.
Then
correct?
ultimately, who did benefit the most from
the
that
Earth
situation?
is
Was it
yeah.
terrorists or was it America?
It was the defense contractors at Halliburton, but you know.
What is the agenda
And
of
American lives,
behind
$2 billion.
this? Yeah, the Earth is flat, and what is the agenda behind
Earth
the Earth
is flat, he
flat?
said.
Yeah,
It's flat?
Yeah, what
Okay, we've reached that point.
what
Okay.
the hell are you talking about? The Earth is flat,
The
and
politicians have to deal with death numbers, with fatality.
Okay, my guy. So
that was actually a really
Hang
good
10.
video.
I do something pretty cool for my job. Sometimes I send balloons with cameras up into space, and it's certainly not flat.
I agree with you, and I was kidding.
Okay.
That was,
In case you missed it,
okay.
Kevin,
I
we're
couldn't
on flat
tell
Earth
because
now.
you were being
I was
deadpan.
being sarcastic.
Do you leave and we go flat Earth?
Sorry. I was being sarcastic.
Okay.
Because
Seriously, man.
I
Listen,
was
man.
talking about like agenda of the flat Earth. By the
Hey,
way.
man.
Get it, Gary.
Yeah. Okay, Kitty.
Did he just take himself out?
Have you seen Earth from space?
Actually, Crypto Alchemist, that's a misnomer. There was tons of gold and silver, but they were specifically targeted for retrieval before other spots in the debris pile.
Are you talking
It
about
it didn't go missing. Like they went in and specifically got it out very early.
Are you talking
because it
about
was
from the
commodity.
moon or the
I'm talking about the comment in the chat. from
Liberia
Crypto.
or Libya, where they found the Earth in Ethiopia, the gold.
The hollow Earth, man.
Well, no, hollow. Yeah, no mind.
So has anyone else seen in the news that apparently
You
the
know,
Chinese have
sometimes
a
I
moon
really
base?
wish I could channel the energy of Art Bell and just scream at
He was
people.
great, man.
He was great.
I love
Art
Art Bell,
dude.
but when
Yeah.
his wife died and he went to stream from like Philippines, and yeah, that was really weird. And then he said he lost his mind after
Dude, his ghost shows were incredible, man. The
I
ghost
know.
story shows. Oh my god.
The ghost to ghost, yes.
Yeah,
I agree.
They were scary, dude. Like people sending stories, you would read them. I don't care how old you are, you were scared by some of them stories, man.
I agree with you, and
Yeah,
I
it
used
was
to fall
great.
asleep to those shows, and I was like,
yeah.
Wow.
I still
Tell you
do.
what, one of my
favorite
favorite shows that he ever did was the night of the Phoenix Lights, and there was all the people phoning in.
Yeah.
Like, that was one of the all-time greatest shows.
Yeah,
I saw the Phoenix Lights.
it's so hard to recreate that nowadays, right? It's so
Right.
hard, man.
I knew what the Phoenix Lights were all about, and it was a mountaintop. And okay, by the way, I didn't. He was nowhere near Phoenix. By the way, I have
Who?
friends. Art Bell.
Yeah, he was in Pahrump. He was in Pahrump
He was in the Philippines. What?
in 1997. He was in Pahrump.
Okay, yeah, but that was the side of the mountain with a lot of.
What the fuck is going on there?
Never mind.
He's like, shut up, bitch! I'm talking conspiracies on the fucking internet! You shut the fuck up! Alright? Still doing it. Still, listen.
Oh my god.
We appreciate you, Hang 10, but I think you gotta go. I think
you think he's got a hang 10?
I think you gotta hang 10. You sound like you're having a fucking stroke. You're slower in your fucking
Oh,
words.
she's got
so
the
bad.
finger out on you. Look out.
Yeah, I think you should go deal with go hang out with your wife. I don't think she wants you on here right now.
That motherfucker.
What did I do? I didn't do
Does she
anything.
give me the thumbs up when I
to you
said
as well.
she doesn't want him on here right now? Was that a thumbs up? I think
No.
No.
Can we see your wife,
Oh, wait.
please? Can she say hello at least to us?
Oh my god.
No,
Oh, she's
thank
giving
you.
me the finger.
Very nice. Very nice. I've been told
Hey,
that I was a
content,
cocksucker
huh?
today. People are giving me the finger. I'm a cocksucker. I'm a motherfucker. People give me the finger. Yeah.
Just another Sunday.
I wish this
I
was on
love you,
Discord
man.
before.
I love you, man.
Wanted they were going to print it
It's-
out and wipe their
don't-
ass with it.
don't
What's
judge
the
me.
what?
Yeah.
No judgment.
Corner,
Just you should probably go.
I'm muting, but yeah, don't kick me.
On that note, I gotta go see, man. I gotta get up tomorrow, dude. Thanks for having the space and being cool, everybody.
Yeah, we're gonna wrap things up. Thank you.
All right.
Ice cream.
All right, I'll
shots.
talk to you guys later.
Yeah, that's great. The one fucking sober
Okay.
guy is gonna leave. Thanks, dude. You're gonna leave me with the rest
Look,
of the
get
fucking
me if you want
drunks.
to use my AI at some point.
Hey, you know.
Oh, Joey
Hey,
Esposito was back
before I
there.
go,
I didn't know. Yeah.
Before I go, I gotta Cambion. I gotta get you to come on my show, man. I want to talk to you about. We both went to Catholic school and stuff. We got to share some war stories.
I'll do that.
Can I come on your show too,
All right, I'll
man?
send you a message, dude.
Okay.
All right, brother. Have a good night, everybody.
Take care, bro.
Easy, Joey.
Hey, how are you, Ian? Nice to see you again.
Oh, good.
Cheers, mate.
Hank Ten, what's your wife doing, man?
No, Hank 10's on mute, bro.
Okay. Why are you asking me that?
She's giving me the finger, apparently.
Yeah. Why are you asking me
There you
that?
go. Number one golden rule is to not upset
She
the
loves
lady.
you.
You know?
She loves you, man.
That's what his wife is doing.
That's what it means.
okay.
It means she loves him.
Okay.
Peace sign.
You sound like my friend.
Punk sign, peace sign.
Yeah. That means piss off, by the way. That means okay. And in England, that means still have two fingers because okay.
It was Welsh longbowmen.
Yeah. Welsh longbowmen. They cut off the index finger when they, but this is what happened. They still have their middle finger that they can actually shoot the longbow.
Well, the criteria for shooting a longbow was being able to pull the longbow.
Correct. And that's why this was an insult, because this used to be the insult.
And 10, I shoot longbow. I can hit gold at 70.
With the middle finger, can you shoot the longbow with the middle finger? Yeah, that was actually I still have one finger, man. I still have the to shoot the longbow. The archers.
If
Yeah.
you recall too, when Tricky Dick used to throw up the double peace signs, and around that time too, this was.
I'm not a crook. I'm not a crook.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the reality is that the origination. I'll give you a little history, very lightly, but the origination of the V actually stands for victory, and it was ascribed to Winston Churchill by way of Aleister Crowley to win the war. So the V is actually a magical sigil. And when Tricky Dick was throwing up the double V's, you could kind of allude to the fact that, could have been some Freemasonic throwing up the magic sigil.
It's what's called the source. It's the sorcerer's sign, and it's what the Royals use as their wave.
There it is.
And it's allegedly meant to cast the shadow of the beast upon a wall.
Yeah,
But that's what it is. And it's also the symbol. It's also the symbol that Jesus.
It's also the vessel.
Below that thing.
It's a symbol of a lot of things, by the way.
It's the chalice, the vessel, the virgin, the divine feminine. But I'm talking about the actual this symbol that I'm putting up. When I go like that, that's victory, and it specifically, historically, allegedly, Aleister Crowley ascribed that to
I
Winston
think we lost
Churchill.
Gary.
But Aleister Crowley
We lost
was
Gary.
before all that in Pasadena over
Sorry.
here. In
He's
Pasadena.
back.
But you guys.
What are we talking about? I don't even know what the fuck is going on.
I don't know. Stephen, in the private chat, I put a link to a video to end the show. If you want it on off ramp, there it is.
Okay, thank you very much.
Nobody
No,
knows.
man, we got another
Actually,
2 hours in us,
what
man.
I'm talking about.
We've got another 2 hours in us.
I gotta come in earlier next time.
It's 5 to 5.
Nobody knows.
Oh.
Nobody knows.
Nearly 5 a.m.
But okay.
Let's talk about flat Earth, man.
All right. So no,
In
Okay.
what sense, though?
Let me post something.
Or in the puddles sense, because there's the puddles theory, isn't there?
Let me set a premise, okay? Let me set a premise.
Well, you
when
can fucking try, but
no. Well, if you say flat, you can't even talk about this unless you can define flat, because flat, in terms of Euclidean geometry, right? If it doesn't have that spatial 3 dimension, okay, flat has no temporal space. There's no like a sphere inside of a dimension is 3 dimensions, and real flat, like a table being flat, is not true flat. That's Euclidean. That's still within the geometry.
Humans with their tiny minds that can't conceive really, really
What
big
does
things,
that have
okay?
to do with the
Just have to
inside
go
of
on
vacuum?
a big plane.
People say
Inside
the
of
Earth is
vacuum.
flat.
What am I doing here?
People say that the Earth is flat. Let me just say something. When people say the Earth is flat, what I think they're talking about is flat tables. They're not thinking actual flatness in terms of real geometry. They think
The
of
Earth
flat
got
table.
legs, man.
I think you're.
You can't be standing erect if it's flat, because erect does not exist on 2-dimensional plane. So
Okay,
when
just
these
for the
people
benefit,
talk
I can
about flat
attest.
Earth, they're talking
When
like a
I-
flat surface, like a table, basically.
Okay, when I flew out to Australia, I was convinced that I could see the curvature of the Earth because of the thick airplane windows, and I had a seat next to the wing as well. This was pre 9/11 as well, and I got chatting to the one of the trolley dollies, and actually got to go to the captain's cabin where they don't have the thick curved glass things, by the window seat. You get to see the true horizon outside of the captain's window.
Okay.
And it's
So-
curved.
It is. Well, let me
Yeah,
talk about the
we
curvature.
don't live on a flat Earth.
Let me talk about the curvature. So
Hold on,
if
man.
we,
Hold
if
on.
we-
Hold on.
Go ahead.
I don't. You're saying the Earth's got legs like a table?
No, the idea being
on the back of the
is that
turtle.
the idea being is that first, like, you have to define what flat is if you're going to have that kind of discussion. I don't support that, but what I'm saying is there's never a premise that's set where they can define what flat
it's
means.
enough to just say flat Earth theory is so stupid. You don't have to debate
is.
what the word flat means to them. It is. You have to be a little bit fucking, I don't know, soft in the head to believe.
Yeah, but
that
hold on,
shit.
Steve. When you imagine that we're on an Earth that is rotating around a sun, which is rotating around the galaxy, which is
solenoid.
rotating around the universe, and we are just spiraling all over the place, and we think for a second that we kind of know where we are, and we can build this accurate picture of the sky above us. Why isn't it all just stripes?
Where's the edge of the Earth, man?
Okay, no,
I mean,
no,
that's
we're
equally
cool.
for a human
No.
mind to conceive. It's equally as crazy for all that to go on.
I'm cool with
Occam's razor, according to all our tests, would indicate, and it's a deep rabbit hole to go down. I know, you start doing the flat Earth thing. A lot of the tests and the reasoning that's applied proves the flat Earth, and you for a second go, "Oh shit, that's scary," and then
No, but it's kind of like, I think that stuff is kind of like the moon. We never went to the moon conspiracy. Like, it sounds good at first, but the digger you deep.
I'm cool with it.
Why am I even bothered trying to talk?
Yes, Steve,
No,
completely.
I'm cool.
No,
I'm
talk,
cool. I'm
Steve.
cool.
So I think that it's kind of like they cherry pick things and create a good argument, but once you really dig into it, and besides, I've been on a high altitude airplane.
The Lazar story.
I've been on a very high altitude airplane. I have seen the curvature of the Earth, and I refuse to believe that all the astronauts are lying to us. In order to believe this, you have to believe in this hugest, grandest conspiracy that has ever been to keep that from us somehow. And the end of the argument is, if all these people are really that sincere, then get a fucking camera crew and go show us the big fucking ice wall end of the Earth. Like, they never do that, but
I'm going to bungee jump off the end of the Earth. I already booked a cruise. I'm gonna bungee jump off the end of there.
Hey man, look.
And that's just a beer talking.
Look, where's the edge of the earth, man?
Somewhere near the end of the show.
Again, another premise. So when you talk about edges of things, you're talking about the boundaries of, let's say, objects. First of all, everything has a boundary, right? So everything is defined as having its own boundary. Basically, I brought this up last time about electrical universe theory, and that corroborates a lot of what the arc is, what plasma is, how matter is formed through precipitation from charges. There you go. Thank you very much. Walter Russell, The Secret of Light. This is a lot of what I kind of marry into because it corroborates a lot and it removes you from the atomic scientia, which basically invented all that shit out of math. So, you know, particles and all these things, they invent new ones every day. The idea being under the electrical universe model is that everything is made up of electrical charges. That's why particles are charged. So you have a still point fulcrum in the middle with electrical charges rotating around it. And that would set up basically like a toroid. And so every universal system is charges that are discharging their voltage. And so the thing is that when things spring into existence, they have to come from some kind of a field. So basically, if you step away from flat earth stuff, step away from the atomic stuff and even quantum quackery, what electrical universe theory basically says is they bring back the ether. The ether was removed from the periodic table, I believe, before the 1920s. The ether is the neutral static field. You could think of it, and here's where the subconscious wants to think of this idea of it being flat. But if you think of the plane of inertia as being a flat plane, okay, there's no movement yet. It doesn't have a thickness. You can't imagine it, but just imagine it as a flat plane. When that flat plane gets perturbed by the force, we don't know what that is, okay? But when it gets perturbed, it becomes a wave motion. Yes. So when ether gets perturbed, okay, this is electrical
gravity,
universe
man.
science. Yeah, well, I'm going to tell you what gravity is. Let me tell you what gravity is. So the field.
Newton told me what gravity was when I was in ninth
I'm at
grade.
the end. I'm almost at the end. Let me finish. Let me finish this piece. Please let me finish this piece. Okay.
Let him finish because I know what he's going to say. It's very interesting.
Yes. So the ether and etymology, I'll bring in etymology. Okay, I'll wrap it up nicely. Ether equals Ishtar equals Easter equals fertility equals the 0 point plane of inertia, which is the negative 0 point fulcrum before it becomes an electrical charge. That's the cross. That's the caduceus. It's two twin currents.
Pornographic.
It forms
You
a
said
Berlin.
either what? No, hold on. Go back.
Let me finish.
To your pornographic shit.
Over billions of light years, Birkeland currents form, okay? And they are solenoids. I'm going to tie it in with what we were saying about the universe. So the universe is moving as a solenoid because what they are counter-rotating electrical filaments that span billions of light years discovered by a scientist named Birkeland. Mm-hmm. Now, when you look at the caduceus and the chakras and all that shit, it's all mythological, archetypical, symbolical representations of how electrical currents propagate the ether. So when you basically disturb the neutral field before it has a charge, it becomes active as a toroid, as electrical currents, which we see as light.
Go back to your pornographic shit.
What I was reading.
No, holographic. So there really is no plane.
No, it's pornographic.
There's no density. What there is holographic light shows at the rate of quantum. It's basically the rate of induction. So you have the positive and negative pulse, and you have rate of induction for all the different frequencies. And the frequencies are basically discharging their
quantum
voltage.
Batteries?
No, there's no quantum here. That's what I'm saying. Quantum quackery is an extension of their, agenda. Electrical universe takes it down to what nature is, which is simplex. It's simplex in her order, in the desire to create electrical bodies. Basically, the idea is that nothing really exists because it's blinking in and out of existence at the rate of induction. And your brain can't keep up with the frame rate.
The verticoaster and okay.
What about those?
I completely agree with you, by the way, Jerry. That was a very succinct explanation of what I think of it as simulation theory, because the information for those charges has to come from somewhere. But you explained it very well there. Good job.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We leave space for not knowing where it comes
Right.
from, right? So the ether is like this 0 point nothing, but it can contain full potential. And in the language, think about it. We have capacity like a battery. You're charged with a crime. The Ark of the Covenant becomes the Ark of the Current. All right? The cerebellum are the cherubim.
Have you heard about the crossover between what we're talking about and the DMTX study at
Yes,
Imperial
and I'm
College?
very experienced with that too. We won't talk about it, but yeah.
Yeah.
So
those realms, I believe, are the temporal spaces that form the holographic mapping, which is the slideshow in your subconscious. Again, subconscious represented by the reptilian brain stem. The reptilian brain stem is the caduceus, which represents the two polar charges, the Adam and Eve, or the anode and cathode on a battery. Why do you think a battery has a positive pole that's like erect, like a penis, right? And the other side oppositional to it is indented like a vaginal cavity. Same thing. So a black hole is to a sun, as a vaginal cavity is to a penis, as a positive pole to a battery is to a negative pole to a battery is to a negative pole to a battery.
But
that's burn eye.
I was muted, so I'm not echoing.
A plus the positive. Okay, the positive plus
Dude, fucking use words, please.
Okay, I rejoined to give.
Like, I got a lot of patience, but I'm like, dude.
This is a totally organized discussion panel. This is fucking the most organized discussion panel I've ever seen on the fucking internet. My
Hey man,
I
just want to know.
You talk about my subconscious is actually like you are a figment of my imagination, and your subliminal.
Alcohol will bring your subconscious down to the 2 dimension. Yes, this is true.
Yeah.
It's very difficult to crash a train. They're normally on rails. But Stephen, you have full control over the
No, I understand this right now. I understand this right now. You are all like objects of
Can you
my
believe people
imagination,
email me and ask me
right?
to do shows like this? People
Well, I was
wait.
gonna, wait. So I was gonna say, should we get Joey to come do an actual show? Because I think he spoke very well.
I really would love that. I need like a vessel to share my stuff
because he and listen, I don't mean this in a bad way.
I
but
need another beer.
He's like a machine gun. And
how about this? Bring PowerPoint slides.
Objects of my imagination. If I stop believing you, you will not believe in me.
I'm really thinking you're gonna have a stroke, dude. I really think you're gonna have a stroke. I really think so.
I'm very.
You've reached slur levels. You're not just slurring your words. You sound like you're having a stroke, dude. Are you okay?
I'm very comfortable with you believing in me, and I believe in you.
I mean, that's a stretch, but.
So, testable science. Every day the sun rises and sets, as does the moon. On the horizons, does the sun and moon appear larger or smaller? Larger.
It appears larger because of atmospheric lensing.
Yes, because of concave curvature.
Yeah.
And then when the sun and moon are directly above you, do they appear larger or smaller than when they're on the horizon?
Smaller because of atmospheric lensing.
Exactly. So, thus, it's the exact opposite of what the flat Earth model would predict. It would predict that the sun and moon would be largest directly above you and smallest on the horizon because they're furthest away. But in reality, the exact opposite appears because of the lensing of the curvature of the Earth.
I like that.
Just saying.
Yep.
The Newton, Newton model.
No, much love.
Well, if the apple falls on your head and it hits you, yeah, Newton.
Well,
when I used to talk to my clients in my practice about these philosophies I have, my clients would say, they want the gimme, they want the takeaway. And how I would make this practical for them, if you think about the physics I'm talking about, it's actually very simple. You have what we think of as explosion. That's the positive charge, right? That's the release of energy. And then you have gravitation or cavitation, which is that energy, its inertia returning back to the 0 point. Okay.
Toroidal.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I learned in 9th grade in science class.
It's something what Hang Ten said that triggered this, and it's kind of a nice wrap up if you're thinking about ending soon. To make it positive. When my client asked me, give me something practical, because it's, get out of the woo-woo, make it practical. That's why I like your show. We got to narrow it down, find the truth of what we're really getting at here. Mythology is great and all, it serves a purpose, but what's the underlying mechanism? That's my passion. And I've been doing this since I was 12 and I'm 45. I'm an energy therapist. I've worked with people who have trauma. So here's how I apply it. When you think of oscillation, you think of the waveform. Everything in our life is a machination. The underpinning to everything that we do is a pulsation. You don't just go out into the world and never come back home to rest. You don't have a life that never ends. You don't ever have a breath where the lungs reach a point of resistance and then they have to naturally relax. So you don't necessarily push poop out necessarily, right? You don't make yourself make chime to make poop. It happens through peristalsis. So how this becomes practical is when you understand pulsation, when you understand, like even the heart, this is going to give you goosebumps. It's not an organ. It's not a piece of solid flesh. When you unravel the heart, it looks like a ribbon in a corkscrew, okay? You unravel it, it's about 12 inches long. So at the center of the body, that tourniquet that's pulsating, that's at the center, that source point, at the center of the tourniquet of the Z-pinch, rather, of a Birkeland current, the tourniquet, right there. That's where the heart is. Because these whirling currents, they form your entire figure. Your X marks the spot, It's like, there's the spiral. DNA, Birkeland currents. Okay. How is it practical? Because if you know that pulsation is the underbedment to all of life, okay? It's the underpinning. You can expect rhythm. You can expect things to end. So I find peace in my spirituality through this practical way, where I know that pulsation is always going to be evident. I used to teach my clients that have a lot of anxiety. I would teach them, expect the shit to happen. Just expect it. It's a pulse. So if you get obsessed like addiction with things that are good, it's never going to hang around because it ain't really here. It's a temporary pressure-mediated condition.
What you're saying makes so much sense to me. Flow state.
Exactly. So, be like water.
Right. I find the best flow states for me, they're fleeting. Like they'll come and they'll go, but in those moments, I'm like locked in and I achieve. But it's not like a long thing. It comes and it goes, and it's an ebb and flow, which is life, right? Which is, I think, what you're getting at. Life is an ebb and flow of sometimes you're on top, sometimes you're down in the shitter, but it's you have to just expect that. And
was that Pearl Jam song?
No, I'm just going to quote Bill Hicks. It's just a ride. It goes ups and down, has bright colors, but it's just a ride.
It's a wave, right?
It's a waveform.
But if you're not,
I wonder what note
if you're a midget,
playing.
you can't ride that ride.
That's something I can expand on later, because I can talk about so many other things, but like harmonic resonance and like how actually things carry a charge and what is a charge and how we incorporate that into our language. Like when you're charged with a crime, what you're actually saying is you're putting the idea in the person's subconscious mind. Like I said, the reptilian iconography represents the unconscious reptilian brain stem, which carries all the trauma from the history of evolution. And that's the part that orchestrates 90% of our automatic behavior.
That's language.
So
there's a
question
in chat I think we should just address. Have you had mental health training to be giving advice?
Yeah,
We should just clarify this.
Me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, well, I was a certified massage therapist for 8 years.
Actually.
Wait, is she asking me if I have a
Yeah.
credential?
Massage is on the brain, man.
But I'm not offering mental health advice.
Yeah, we don't condone that here. Seek mental health advice from a mental health care professional of your choice. Not
don't seek mental health advice because actually,
Jesus Christ.
I actually
trauma dumping coming.
Do you think you need mental health advice?
So I didn't mean to derail the conversation. I just thought we should clarify that if we were going to go deeper into self-actualization stuff.
Oh no, yeah. Well, I'm not offering. I'm not diagnosing. Like, so for instance, I'm not supposed to diagnose, and I can't prescribe medications. That's the only thing I'm not allowed to do, and I'm not a doctor. Obviously, you would speak to a mental health professional if you feel that you have issues that you need to speak to with a professional. We're having a casual conversation about astrotheosophy, if anything, and electrical universe theory. Self-actualization is up to every individual's self-responsibility. Oh, and also, too, is another disclaimer, is that whatever modalities that I practice, which I haven't even spoke of yet, that's my own choice. And so, you don't have to apply. Everybody should do their own research, and that's kind of how I got to where I am anyway. And it's always changing because the nature of the conversation is that evolution and the nature of change being processional, the fact that change is always happening, and that's what's scary about life, is because we don't want things to end, which is what we were talking about. Like the Buddhist tenet, right? Is that we hold on to things when in reality we're supposed to let them decay so that new life can come to be. These are old ideas. These are old machines, old technology, whatever. So the idea is to keep allowing yourself to let go of old ideas and become attuned more to how your sensory input, what it's telling you about yourself, instead of trying to suffocate it, and being, like they say, radiating, right? And that's the idea, to radiate the light.
Radiation.
Is to be open and free and to be accepting. And
Daisy,
to be able to
who are you talking to? Who's lost touch with reality? Like, I don't even understand what's going on.
I think Joey's been very well spoken. He's made a lot of sense. So I don't see
and people are saying
people
are saying
everything he's spoken about is written about in scientific literature.
People are saying he should be a guest, but I'm going to need some major caffeine to keep up with him because it's just too much.
I mean, to be fair,
wait a minute, stop!
Level,
I got to process that.
I don't have to satisfy what this person's saying because I already said my disclaimer.
But Joey, email me, and we'll set that up.
That'd be great, Stephen. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. What are you gonna talk about though? Is this gonna be like electric universe theory, or what the show title?
Do you have like PowerPoint slides or visuals that you could?
Yeah, I actually do have some stuff prepared in terms of bioenergy, in terms of like how these currents move through the body. It's a lot of polarity therapy and what people refer to as Reiki and the chakras, and kind of making it practical in terms of this electrical premise, right? And then how that fits into a universal model would be like another thing. But I mean, I got into your thing because I've been into ufology ever since I was a kid. That was my first interest. But the idea about this, I like to.
We talk about any kind of cool, weird stuff on the show. It's fine.
Yeah.
It'll
Didn't we have a Burn-Eye chemist guy? He was here earlier, wasn't he talking about his Ormus farm for a few hours one time?
Yeah, he came on and talked about modern real alchemy, and that was weird and interesting.
People think this is just a skeptic show, but like,
there's two of me. That's me in my dream studio. The real version is not going too good.
This is getting out of hand. Now there are two of them.
Yeah. By the way, I wanted to announce that if anybody that's a show fan of mine, if anybody has an 8x8 MIDI device, I'm going to share the real studio. If anybody has an 8x8 MIDI device, because the funny thing is, I started this whole adventure on building a MIDI studio because somebody had given me an 8x8 MIDI interface. Means that you can control
a synthesizer, man.
Eight synthesizers, drum machines, whatever. And today, trying to hook this shit up, I found out that interface doesn't work with anything but Windows 98. There's no drivers, so
This is like a fucking
So,
Where's Wally picture
yeah,
before.
I got a
studio.
4x4 and a
How many
2x2
keyboards
and
are
some
there in that
1x1s, but I need an 8x8 MIDI interface that will work with
Okay, so-
hopefully Windows 7 or later.
Wait,
Just in case
hold
anybody
on.
For the benefit of the chat,
Hold
that picture and the picture behind me is what Steve's going to look like. He's old.
Never mind.
Hey, Steve, if you ever need help,
Do that again. Do that again. That's exactly it. That's gonna be me. That's been me
that
several
Eminem,
times in my life already.
yo,
That
Steve,
was
if you
been
ever
me.
need help with your studio, let me know. Because again, remember, I've been doing recording for 30 years too, so I can help you sort all
Well,
that shit out.
I do have some.
Steve, get that picture back up of the studio. Get the picture back up of the studio.
Let me
You need
know
to get
too,
the audience
man.
count how many
I
keyboards there
I
are.
want to help out, man.
I do have a problem, and that is, I started this just with a 32 channel live mixer, and I haven't had an audio interface for a while, and I have no idea how to get that into separate audio files. I know right now that they sell a Tascam and a Mackie mixer that does 24 channels, and it does the interface part of it as well. But I remember there was something called Synthi Sync where you could synchronize the DAW and just record one synthesizer at a time with one stereo input, and it would all synchronize. You would just do one at a time. That's the way I used to do it, but it's been so long since I've done this. I'm not there yet. When I'm at that point, I'll reach out to you. But thanks for your offer of help.
Sure.
Because sometimes somebody like you that already knows how to do something like that could save me 12 hours of hair pulling to figure it out or research it and get whatever is required. I think.
Yeah, I mean, I just have a simple sound card that has MIDI in and out, and I got a couple of analog synths and a digital synth, but I just have them daisy chained. So, like, if you wanted to do what do they call it, multi-timbrality or polyphonic, if you want to do polyphony, then you have to have each instrument on its own MIDI channel. But you can daisy chain in out. Even better if the synth has a through, then you would use the through.
Yeah. I tend to put each instrument on one channel. I know there's 16 MIDI channels on each MIDI thing, but to get all the synthesizers on the right channels and everything is a nightmare. So I just use one. That's why I have an 8x8,
you're doing
a 4x4,
a virtual.
and a 2x2.
You're doing a virtual
No,
thing,
I'm not doing
right?
virtual thing. No, this is all real work.
I saw
Why
someone
are you
in the
having so
chat
many
talk about
problems?
the archaic revival.
Why are you having so many
Shout out
problems?
to Terrence McKenna.
I'm not having many problems yet. I just started hooking
It's
everything
about
up.
the mushrooms,
I
man.
didn't say I was having problems. The one problem I did have is that the 8-in, 8-out interface that I started the whole studio with apparently won't work unless I want to run Windows 98.
This is why everybody, uses VSTs in the DAW,
It's just easier. Yeah, but I've been doing that for years since I sold my old studio, and I miss the real stuff. I miss the knobs and
you're working on legacy shit. Yeah, you don't want to go to Windows 98. What the fuck?
Well, my DAW will not run on Windows 98.
How far in past are you living?
Thank you, Mark.
Just
Last
depends on.
century?
It depends on. Yeah, you're a fucking expert, right? I know. Yeah.
No, I worked on Y2K. No, I
All
help
right.
people
Jesus
go
Christ.
over to Y2K. Yeah, you are still not on.
So thanks for coming
98.
tonight, everybody. It's been a great panel show.
What a great panel show.
I
Jesus Christ.
worked on Y2K.
Okay. All right.
I worked on ending the show.
Jesus. I really think he's going to have a stroke. I really
Yeah,
think
me
he's going
too.
to drink himself into a stupor.
So
I'm just doing a series
I
of
believe we have that
outside
video to play the show out, so we can say our goodbyes now. I guess, right?
Have any of you, can you hear me? Hello?
Yes, Riley.
You have 10
Hello?
seconds.
Hello?
8 seconds.
I can hear you, Riley. Go.
5 seconds.
6 seconds.
Have any of you, heard about the
Didn't.
8-foot aliens in Miami?
Oh, the aliens in Miami. The 10-foot alien in the shopping mall that no one's got any pictures of that was apparently sticks.
There were sticks, man.
It was sticks.
God, there were sticks involved.
There were sticks involved.
Damn. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah, it was bullshit. Nothing happened.
All right,
It
we're
was
gonna
just-
wrap things up here before it gets any fucking worse. And I apologize to the audience for another complete and total chaotic shit show. Believe it or not, people keep asking me to do these, though. I don't know why.
For some reason, this is entertaining.
This is
This is ufology, everyone.
I want to
Some
thank
people
you,
are
thank
alone,
you,
you
Spooky.
see. Some people consider this an
What?
extension of, you know,
Yeah, well,
we are
me and
family
Ian,
to a lot of people.
me and Ian were connecting
Without
on some tangents with the last one that we did. So I know that me and Ian can definitely have some structure together. And I appreciate you, Spooky, for the suggestion to Steve. And Steven, thank you so much for what you
Yeah,
provide.
email
And,
me. We'll do that.
I will. And give me some time.
I've had a lot worse guests than you, dude. I've had a lot worse. So
Yeah. No, I'll organize something for you. I'll make it nice, like a PowerPoint with slides and shit.
Oh, that'd be great. People love that shit.
Hell yeah.
Everyone loves slides.
All right. You guys have a good night. Peace.
You
All right, we'll throw Joey out of here first.
Just pop back in quick to say, Steven, are you still interested in doing an interview with Frank Zero and myself? Frank Zero being he's one of the guys charged in the lawsuit, I think, with Corey Good and all of that.
Is he? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah,
If Steven doesn't, I will.
Tell.
Yeah,
Can we do that as a panel and get a few? Bernie come along as well, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, message
Yeah,
me.
That'd be a good show. That
sounds interesting.
I will email you both. Happy New Year. May 2024 lead to less grifting and more actual disclosure.
more science.
All right,
more
thank
science.
you, Bird Eye. And then we got Riley Martin. You're the next contestant on Get Out of My Show.
That's cool, man.
Riley's still with us, bro.
All right.
Well,
you
that
have
was great. Last words. Bye bye.
You have a good night. Yeah, there we go. And Hang 10, I'm going to unmute you so you can say goodbye. Yeah.
Have a good night. I love you guys.
All right. Have a good night. Oh, he made it through without falling over drunk.
And then there were three.
And then there were just us.
We three kings.
Indeed.
Well, that was a fucking experience.
They always are. I don't know why.
When I
people keep
came,
asking
I
me
was
to
like,
do
"Oh, it'd
these.
probably be really chill. I'll just go and have a nice, calm evening."
We served well as a counterbalance, you know.
Yeah, I think
It's so
we did. I think we did. We were able to bring things back down.
All right. Well, I'm going to throw Ian and you out of here. We're going to wrap things up.
Right on. It's been just another day in ufology, people.
Yes, let me.
Just another day. Just another day.
There you go. Just another day here in conspiracy land. And
you,
we'll
audience.
see you, Mr. Ian. Thanks for all your help.
I hope you enjoy the video.
And Spooky, yeah, they just get worse and worse. Like,
oh, I know.
I had to delete the last one because of somebody with the N bombs.
For real?
Yeah, somebody kept saying the N word, and like I researched it and found out like I could get a community guideline strike for that.
Yeah.
So I had to take the whole video down. And somebody's like, "Oh, you could edit it," but like, I'm not going to spend 18 hours on a show that was terrible anyway. You know?
Oh well. Well, I guess we just maybe got to like.
Oh God! Thank God, Daisy. Thank God, Daisy. Daisy, I'm listen. Just so everybody understands, like sometimes I don't understand what's going on in the live chat, and Daisy was like, "You need mental help" and all this stuff. I thought Daisy was angry because people said the Earth was not flat, and so I'm glad to see Daisy is like, "No, I can't be chill." When someone
I don't think
misunderstood
Joey was
what was
claiming.
going on.
I don't think Joey was claiming.
No, Joey wasn't claiming that, but the other one of the other people were like,
right.
It's just
oh well.
There's some things I just think are a complete and total waste of time in conspiracy land. MH370 and flat Earth. Those are the two dumbest things that I never want to even waste time talking about.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, so sometimes I don't really understand what people are getting upset about in the live chat. I'm glad to see she was getting upset because the Earth is not flat. Oh my God. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to throw you out of here too.
Well, should I introduce the video? Are you going to play that video that I linked?
Yeah, I was going to. Yeah.
Okay, I'll introduce it.
And
So
then
this
you're gonna
video
make me
is
stay
from
here for a whole more 5 more minutes of this shit. Thanks.
Well, I was
Thanks.
gonna say you don't have to like say
I'm
bye.
trying to
after,
just
end
get
the
out
show.
of here and end this shit show. And Spooky's like, no, stay for another fucking 5 minutes with this shit show. Thanks.
I'm just trying to give the people the content they deserve.
Well, tell them about the video. We're going to play the
So
show
this
out.
video is from the 2014 Conscious Life Expo. It was the day that David and Corey first met, and David gave a talk. And take it away, Stephen.
All right, let's play this thing.
All right,
This
I'll
is
get
fair
out of here
use
while this is playing.
transformative work. Okay, me too.
All right.
Wait a minute. Is it? I don't hear it. Oh wait.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's playing.
I'm gonna wrap. We're gonna wrap things up here, friends. So we're gonna play you out with this excellent spooky edit. I'll be back tomorrow night for sure at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time with a much better show. I promise. A better.
Yeah, it will.
It won't be a chaotic mess of drunken craziness.
This was certainly one of the crazier ones.
This is one of the crazier ones. Yes.
Yeah.
So we'll see you guys tomorrow night, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thanks for all of your support. I'll see you later, Spooky, and I'm out of here as well. So that's all we got for you, friends. And believe me, that's plenty. Like, it wasn't getting any fucking better. So that's all we got for you, friends. Until next time, my name is Stephen Cambion. Good night, and God bless all of you.
Okay, so we have probably one of the most adventurous, exciting, information-packed shows that I have ever done. We have a very interesting new history that has come our way as a result of information that is leaked to us from people working for what is called the SSP, or Secret Space Program. Now, what is that? The Secret Space Program is why nobody went back to the moon since like 1970. That's a long time. Oh, well, yeah, been there, done that. Don't need to go back. We figured it all out. We know there's moon dust up there. It's all good. No. I want to welcome you to an idea. Because with the idea of ignorance that has been deliberately put upon you by those who do not wish their control to be usurped. Boy, those are a lot of SAT words. Now, here's one of the really, really cool things that we find out that you're going to hear in this talk. Once it's out, it's out. You'll notice I did not announce that I was going to do this until this morning on my website, because these people work fast. Okay, so I do believe that the information I'm going to put here could get me in trouble, but I also believe that you need to know the truth, and that's more important than my physical safety. Thank you. But she thought that if she got me this book, that it would make me want to read. Now, what you're seeing here is right at the very back of the book. I was so excited about the idea that people were coming here from other planets that I just tripped out like crazy when I read this part of the book. And then this thing tripped me out even more. And I kept going back to this. That was a long time ago. And that what we're going to end up doing at that point, when we use up the Earth's own resources, is we will start to hollow out asteroids and live inside of asteroids in fully habitable worlds. I tripped out on this so many times on this picture that to put it into the show now just makes me feel really warm inside. There's not going to be some big gate that you can get in through. They fly through the rock using a technology that allows them to permeate matter. Oh my goodness gracious. Some of the ancient build-out is still visible to us because do you notice that strange boomerang shape on the moon? Now, This was Richard's conception of what it might look like inside, underneath all the dirt. According to the Military Insider, compared to what was native on Earth, which was probably just like caveman, and they began creating huge cities called the Book of Enoch. It's a very, very important text. And I'm going to be doing a lot more about this as I go on, probably writing it into my books. What you have just seen here is the very first time that anybody outside of a small circle of elite has ever gotten to hear and see the information that I have just presented to you. Yes, indeed. This has been totally awesome. I'm still alive. We made it. Thanks, everybody. Thanks for being here. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much.